What is Smoking Canna family? I hope you guys can see. Let me make sure real quick. Give me 1 second here. There we go. Boom. Give me 1 minute. And we're going live. There we go. Make sure we got a good view here. Yes, we do. We are going live. Let me adjust this camera here a little bit more. Give me 1 second, guys. Some technical difficulties. There we go. You should be able to see me when I sit down now. I do not have a camera person, so you'll have to forgive me. Give me 1 second. There we go. All right. Now everybody wanted to see the Miracle Alien cookies be basically harvested. So unfortunately, guys, I'm not going to be able to respond to your comments, but I feel instead of putting out like a 2-3 hour video, it was toasty earlier. Now it's cooling down in here. But instead of putting out a 2-3 hour video, guys, figured we'd get these girls pretty much trimmed up, get it back, let's move back a little more. There we go. This is one of the Miracle Alien cookies by Samurai Swirl Seeds. I think they turned out quite well, I gotta say. There is some barfy bugs here at the bottom, but you know what? I do not discriminate. So what we're going to first do is we're going to trim all these fan leaves, get all these off there. So let's go ahead and do that. So you guys just want to watch me trim. And then I got my nifty trim bucket. Look at these leaves, guys. Nice dark purples. Absolutely beautiful, I gotta say. So let's get these trimmed up. Now these have been ready to harvest, guys, for like 3 days now. 3 days they've been ready to harvest now. So we got some harvesting to do. I'm going to show you more process. Right now we're just going to trim all these leaves off because that's what's going to take a minute. So that will be the only boring part of the video, because this is what I do. Anything with a long stem on it like this right here, we're just going to chop away from the plant to get out of the way to see what we are working with the flowers. So we're just trimming it leaf by leaf. I wear rubber doctor's gloves because it saves your hands from being sticky, guys. Got quite a few pairs of these, so I'm like, why not? That's why I got them. Keeps all the trichomes and your fingers from sticking together. Shout out to YouTube, the platform. I know you guys love this type of content on your platform. Wish you guys would get the fuck over it, honestly. That way, people like us, they put a lot of effort into these girls and a lot of work. This was months of work. And it was a photo period, so it took even longer. And it was a lot of adjustment because where I live, guys, it was really hot at one point. It was really cold. It was really humid. Then it was fluctuating from cold to hot to hot to cold. And there was just a lot of work that went in. Now, a lot of these buds are so heavy, they are bending the branches. I have like 3 plants to do. So let's get to it. Getting these leaves off. This has some beautiful leaves. I mean, I'm not usually too interested in the leaves, you know. I don't think anybody grows cannabis for leaves, guys, but They definitely have some beautiful leaves. Let me know down in the comments, somebody, if you can hear me. Make sure my audio is good. I know there's a lot of fans, air conditioners, and shit running in this room right now. But a lot of it's going to be shut off here soon once I get these leaves off this plant. It would have helped, I agree with a lot of people in the comments section, to trim this, or train it rather, but from what I've read, it was an intermediate grow. It was an exotic cultivar, and it took a long ass time to kind of really dial in what it needed, specifically. This is a very touchy cultivar. Luckily, there was no seed pods, no bananas, nothing of that nature. So everything turned out really well with it. I'm pretty pleased. The buds are dark purple. They've been ready to harvest, like I said, for 3 days now. But let me know, anybody watching, if you can hear audio. I'm going to check. Just say yes, we can hear you. So, okay, we got likes, okay. Favorite strain, Matt. Can you guys hear me? I want to make sure you can hear audio. That way it's up. So, let me see here. Oh, there we go. Can you guys hear me? I can hear, bro. Okay, thank you, JM Grows. I appreciate you. But yeah, I can say I've never smoked this particular strand. I've smoked Mac 11. I have not grown Mac myself. This is the first time. And I'm pretty excited about it. I read a lot about the dark purpling, and throughout the grow I did not see a lot of that until late flower. So I'm not sure if particularly, from what I've read, that's what it's supposed to do. So I was really pleased with that. It always helps, guys. I got this at Target. I use nothing in it, no trash, no disgusting stuff. The only thing that's been in this is plant matter. So it really helps, I gotta say. So we're going to go ahead, boom. And like I said, I figured this would just be easier to go live and do than to create a 2-3 hour video that would take probably till the next day to upload. When I told you guys I was going to do this video today. So I didn't want to seem like I told you guys, hey, I want to be doing this today, and it pops up tomorrow. I like to, be truthful with my viewers, all the people that subscribe. And there's quite a bit of you guys. Shout out to everybody new. Thank you guys. Shout out to all the old subscribers. Much love, just as much. I greatly appreciate it. I'm not monetized. I am sponsored by certain companies. And I want to shout out Hydro Gardens and Lights for all the equipment. I paid for it, but they definitely helped, and they were great. I do get discounts from Fox Farm and Nutrients, so shout out to Fox Farm. But there we go. We're just right now removing these leaves. I'm trying to do it as quickly as possible. That way, because this is going to be a long stream, guys. There's a lot to do. And for all you new people, this is how you do it. You just start with these type of leaves. You don't want to cut anything right here, like anything close. You don't want to mess with any of that right now. This is just step-by-step process. I know a lot of you guys watching are like, I already know. And trust me, I know. But we do have some new people, and they've been wondering quite a bit. And they check out the channel for information, so might as well give them the information they want. There's a few people, Toilet Bowl, which was one of the usernames. Shout out to you, man. I made one video for you. And I'll do that. If you guys come up with video ideas, any of you, and comment it what you'd like to see, just let me know. I'll make it. And, I'm just a person with a camera, guys. A lot of you guys act really excited, which I appreciate when I do comment and, make videos for you. But, I wouldn't exist out here on YouTube without you guys. You guys are amazing. You're why I do it. That and love for this beautiful plant in front of you. So, you guys are the reason why I do this. And the channel's been growing like a cannabis plant, guys. I mean, It has been growing each and every day. Just in the past 3 days, I got 50 new subscribers on this channel, which blows my mind personally. I never thought I would. So, I mean, I'm really excited about that. And I just can't believe how quickly this channel has kind of grown over the years. You know, I started with about, let's say about 200-300 subscribers. And over time, you know, especially after I hit, let's say about 1,000 subscribers, it just grew and grew and grew, and it just never stopped. So, you know, I'm thankful for that. I can't believe so many people, you know, care what I have to say and, you know, love to learn what I teach, essentially. You know, I love to teach people. But we are going to get the grow light down. Right now I'm using an SD44 by AC Infinity. And I got to get that down and get the dry rack by AC Infinity up. So we're going to do that. And go ahead and move that. There we go. We got some beautiful, beautiful trichomes on this plant. I gotta say, the Mac definitely delivered. And this company is quite strange, guys. This way you can kind of see what I'm doing right here. As you can see from the back of it, this is what I'm doing. I'm trimming all the families. But if somebody would have told me to look up Samurai Squirrel seeds, I would have just fucking laughed, not paid really any attention to it. I may have looked it up probably out of curiosity, but I can't believe it's an actual company, and they really produce some really good seeds. All of them are very sterilized before they are put into the package, and they grow quite well. I mean, I've had great luck with this. Great luck. Like I said in the beginning, there was some adjustment problems, but once we got those out of the way with the AC Infinity environmental controls, as they like to call them, we got everything dialed in. I did. And got everything underway. Now, that's one thing I do want to talk about. You guys are seeing, probably a lot of you don't know who he is. And some of you may know who he is. But Harry Cola was another part of this channel, and I took down a lot of videos in hopes to get monetized, and I regret that because the channel did not get monetized, and I lost those videos, unfortunately. So that's the last time I will do that for YouTube. From now on, anything I film and put on this channel will be left on the channel. But Harry Cola, man, he just has a lot of things going on in life. He's working. And just to be real, I mean, he's the only one supporting himself, you know. He lives in an apartment by himself, so he has to pay his bills and his groceries and all that fun stuff we have to do every day, guys. And, you know, he just did not have the time. We were cranking out a lot of content, but at the time, we worked at home, and then that business got closed down. We were getting paid really, really well. So all we did was really stay at home and film content for you guys at the time. And after that, essentially, you know, he just did not have time, but he still grows, and you'll see his videos from time to time pop up. I don't even know when they'll pop up, but they do. So you will see that, thankfully. He is quite great at growing. I was the mastermind behind the channel. I created the channel and essentially had him do all the editing. That's why you don't see a lot of editing on the video. I honestly do not care to learn it. I apologize for that. I can do so much editing from the camera I'm using right now, but it's just not my niche. I'm not into editing, but I am into being in front of the camera and making videos and speaking to an audience. And that's one thing he wasn't too into, so we kind of really clicked on that. He was essentially the camera guy, and you know, he was the editor, and he did help with some videos. You know, he was the other 50% of Two Bugs in a Jar. you know, and I was the other 50. We both created videos, we both wrote down ideas. I wrote down scripts word for word of what I would say. I did not use AI on anything. I handwritten things with paper and pen. I know a lot of you guys are probably like, what the fuck, why? But I just cared about it that much, and I kind of wanted to have the videos for memory. So, you know, they were balled on paper forever, you know, and I have tons of them. And some of those I might revisit and re-put out that I had to take down in hopes of getting monetization. Like I said, it really, I don't know, it was a big kick in the ass, man. Something you work on from this. We've been doing this. I've been doing it solo now for about 6-7 years. Or no, I'm sorry, about 3 years we've been doing Two Buds in a Jar. And about a year I've been doing this solo and just putting out videos from you guys. And you can see, because it had our intro or music, things of that nature. And now it don't, you know, essentially, because I don't have an editor. And I mean, I could learn the stuff. I mean, your boy has an IQ of 110, not to flex, but I'm just not into the techie shit. And honestly, I just don't have the time. Hear that from time to time. It's just my notification, so I apologize. But this is all we're doing right now with this, is we're just removing the families, as you guys can see. And there's quite a bit of them, unfortunately. Now, this I have not decided, but I don't think I'm going to cut down the stock and hang upside down. I think essentially I'm just going to cut at the stem and put the buds in a giant dry rack. Like I said, I got a 8-section dry rack by AC Infinity. So I think we're going to use that and utilize the space in the tent, because it's a more controlled environment. As you guys can probably see right here off to the right, I don't know if you can see them, but 2 fuzz balls. Those are my bunnies, and they've had to deal with all the bullshit, all the hot, cold, and all this stuff. So, you know, essentially I want to get their temperature normal in the room again. But, there we go. I gotta say, this did not turn out bad though. But if you guys were ever wondering, that's what happened to Harry Cola, man. He fucking had to work at Walmart, I guess, you know, and it sucks ass. Because we definitely could have made this channel, you know, happen. I'm averaging anywhere from, you know, 90, 80,000 views on this channel per week. You know, so that's definitely monetizable. And I have almost 7,000 subscribers and almost 1 million views on this channel. And, you know, if it wasn't for you guys and my passion for cannabis, you know, I would have just not done it anymore, you know. But I don't give up on things I start, so you guys will always see me on the internet, whether you want to or not. I mean, I'll always be here, and I'll always film my grows and, you know, show you guys all the information, from scientific and nerdy all the way down to just basic information for newbies, you know, because I know they enjoy it. A lot of people start and really don't know what the fuck they're doing, and it's understandable. Guys, when I first started growing cannabis, let me tell you a story. So, I was probably like 17. Yeah, I was 17 and a half. I was 18 years old, and I was living with my parents at the time, my mom. And what I did was I went on I Grow. What the fuck was that thing called? I can't remember. It was a specific website. And there was very vague information, but it gave you everything you needed to grow cannabis. And I think I love growing marijuana.com or something on ILGM, yeah. But I got all my information from them, and I ended up getting the equipment and all that stuff. And what would happen is I'd go to this little hardware store, and I'd start off with the humidity and temp reader and fans and etc. And at the time, I did not have money for a grow light. So what I used, guys, was essentially CFL lights. And a lot of you guys probably do know what those are, and a lot of you are like, what the fuck? It's a compact fluorescent bulb. It's spiral. They don't even make them anymore. But it was 140 or 150 watt output, and I used a shit ton of them. And I ran a bunch of cords and extension cords to run power into my 11-foot tall by 3-foot wide closet. And my first grow, I put all these seeds in there, and I waited and waited, and I didn't know it takes 7 to 14 days to germinate. I didn't even know that at this point. You know, I didn't think growing weed was that complicated. And, you know, essentially what I did was I just gave up. I turned the lights off, I turned the equipment off, and I was like, fuck it, it was just too hard, I'll take all this shit. So I opened the closet one day, and it was a day later, and I opened it up, and all of them sprouted. So I turned on the equipment at the age of 17, and, you know, grew, and just started growing, man. And now I'm 37 years old, I'm almost 40 years old, guys, and I know I'm old as fuck, right? And, you know, I've been growing ever since and learning, and, you know, it's been great, dude. I absolutely love it. And I wouldn't stop growing even if I had to. And yes, even in my state, I'll admit, I don't care. I grew it before it was legal. So when I was growing when I was 17, it was completely illegal. Cultivation, smoking marijuana, having bongs, bowls, all that shit. It was completely illegal. And, I mean, I didn't give a fuck. You know, I'm gonna be honest, I just didn't care. I did what I wanted to do, and that's what I did. And, you know, it turned out great, I mean, honestly. And out of that first grow, guys, if you're wondering, I got almost a pound of weed. I had Tangerine Cookies, OG Kush, and Northern Lights. And I grew, it was like 8 plants out of 11-foot tall, 3-foot wide closet. And, I got almost about like a half a pound to a pound out of there, you know, and I pulled it all out. Of course, my mom smoked weed too, and that's who I lived with at the time because I was like 17. And, you know, she didn't care. She was happy about it. She cared about the electric bill, you know, because that motherfucker ran up a lot. But it was a great experience. And, you know, after that, I started learning and learning and learning. And like I said, there's a lot of times that I worked at home for months, so I had nothing to do in my spare time but years and years of research. And then I branched out and started talking to old heads that grew weed for years and people like that. And then after that, essentially, what I did was just kept learning. And, you know, and then I figured it out, you know, I smoked weed around a lot of people, grew weed with a lot of people. And a lot of people just did not know, like they have these crazy ideologies of putting lemon or this or that or giving your plant Kool-Aid would flavor it. And I'm like, what the fuck? No. Like, you know, you don't give it Gatorade to give it fucking potassium. Are you crazy? Just because there's potassium in Gatorade, it's not the same potassium as your plant uptakes. You know, if you look at it, for instance, on a scale, there's a lot of different kinds of potassiums. There's a lot of different kinds of nitrogens. And a lot of you guys know this and some of you don't. But, you know, just because something has nitrogen in it doesn't mean it's good for your plant. You know, I've heard everything from coffee grounds to all this eggshells, and some people even put dead fish in bait. Like, it takes years, and I'm talking years, for that shit to break down in soil and for your plant to be able to absorb anything. So essentially your plant is getting nothing for it until that's completely degraded. I know. Good girl. I know you don't like the smell of weed. But anyway, yeah, so a lot of these people did not know, man. They didn't know, you know, coffee grounds, thought it would do nitrogen, and it was just like, no, man. That's not true, you know. So I was like, why not create a channel, because I love weed so damn much. I eat shit and breathe weed, basically, you know. I used it in heavy amounts and knew all about it and researched it for years and had all this time, unlike a lot of people, and I was like, why not do it? And then, you know, I used the platform YouTube, but I used to just watch music off of it. I never used to watch any YouTubers. I do now, and I have been for years. Like, I watch a lot of Law Cows, a lot of Horror Cows. I watch them. They're funny-ass people. I know all about them. Um, and I watch a lot of documentaries and, you know, just essentially really good content that's informational. And then I learn a lot of stuff because, I mean, I don't just research cannabis, I research everything. And then I was like, why not throw it on YouTube? Why not reach a shit ton of people? Like, fuck Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and all that shit. So let's face it, there's nothing but really porn on fucking, you know, Twitter and a bunch of boobs and dumb shit on Instagram. And then Facebook was heavily censored. You couldn't put anything on that motherfucker, dude. Like nothing. Mark Zuckerberg was like, it's worse than YouTube is now. And I do miss times that YouTube went back in 2010 where you could, you know, post a video and cuss or say something outrageous or say jokes. Not everybody got ass hurt over it and offended. You know, I come from that type of era, man, so it's really hard to offend me, man. You know, I've heard it all and seen it all, and, you know, I've heard it all, basically. It just doesn't bother me. You know, some things I may not necessarily like or agree with, essentially, but, you know, I'm not very easily offended. This generation, just some of them, you know, just got really bent out of shape about fucking everything, dude. Everything. So, you know, I'm not getting too much into all of that, the great grind of YouTube, but we all know YouTube needs to come around and stop being so fucking bullshit. And I'm here to do that. So I'm always going to keep it real with you guys. And even if YouTube, you know, banhammers my channel, 2 buds in a jar, you will see me on another cannabis channel. I'll use another email, and I'll be right back in this motherfucker. Again and again and again. Because, you know, YouTube can't just essentially block you out completely. I think it's bullshit. I mean, a lot of people put a lot of time in their plants. A lot of people have mastered this art, and a lot of people know a lot, and they want to share it with the world and, you know, help other people medicate themselves. Because, you know, some people grow weed, get high. Some people use it. You know, I have anxiety and PTSD. You know, and instead of eating handfuls of Xanax that I was prescribed, I stopped that years ago and just smoke indica. That's why I don't like sativa. You know, I was diagnosed with PTSD and generalized anxiety disorder. And that's part of the reason I'm kind of sweating so much, sitting here and talking to you guys. But, you know, I just use indica and it calms me down, and I don't really care for sativa at all. That's just not my thing. You know, I don't even like growing it, but I do because I have the seeds, and why the fuck not? You know, plus a lot of you guys do, and, you know, I respect that. Everybody has their, you know, kinds of cannabis they like. Some people like it all. Some people only like hybrids. Some sativas, some indica. But I'm a huge indica lover. This here is a 50-50. It's half indica and half sativa. But, you know, a lot of people use it for really good reasons. And, you know, and even just to get baked and escape reality for a while. Because let's face it, the world can be a shithole sometimes. You know, it ain't all fucking flowers and rainbows. Sometimes you need that release, man. Ain't nothing wrong with smoking something that came from Mother Nature and chilling out. You know, I gotta say. So, we're gonna get the rest of these families real quick popped off here with these very fine shears, as you can see. Oh, sorry there. And go on to the next plant and get the fan leaves off. But we got quite a few of them. Jesus. Luckily, man, I've had some strain. I had to defoliate these girls, I'm sorry, like 3 times. But I've had some cultivars, guys, I'm like, what the hell? Like, all this thing does is grow leaves. You know, and of course it was in bench, so duh, but my God, dude, some of them just grow shit tons of leaves. And even in flowering. And, you know, you never want to stress out your plant, but, you know, it's like 2 weeks ago you just defoliated and your canopy's open. And then, like I said, 2 weeks later, you got a huge bush in there. And you're like, what the fuck happened? You know, so they grew 200-300 leaves overnight. And I've had strays like that. Mimosa cake, autumns is one of them. I'll tell you that. I defoliated that thing probably about, I had 4 of them growing in there. I defoliated it about exactly 4 times. And each time just got bends of leaves. And I'm like, my God. Yeah, this thing just keeps producing fucking leaves. So, trim gel is always fun. But luckily I got a trend bulb. But with this, since it's an exotic cultivar, I'm not going to run the buds too much through a bud trimmer. We're just essentially going to remove all these bullshit ass fan leaves the plant no longer really needs anymore. So it's time to be harvested, and we're going to move on to the next branch. Like I said, guys, this stream is going to be a while. There's a lot to do. And a lot of the newer growers I want to show necessarily step by step of all what to do here. You know, so this is a good step. You just want to remove these leaves with the longer stems is going to be your first goal essentially. But I do keep my sugar leaves. Usually they're potent enough and I have enough of them to kind of concentrate it down and make gummies or butter. You know, I do that a lot. I don't have the equipment, unfortunately, or the room to make concentrates. That's my next goal. But one step at a time. I still have to get a few things for the old tent over here, the AC Infinity, a couple vents and a couple tubes. I want to get a garden air conditioner eventually, but they are expensive. AC Infinity's price would form, like, if I was sponsored, it'd be one thing, like, because I know a lot of channels, Basement Grows is one of them, the 2 Canadian guys. They're awesome. Shout out to Basement Grows. You guys kick ass. I do watch your channel. They run a lot of hash, and I would love to do that. You know, I know how to make all these concentrates. Of just, like I said, I do not have the room right now. Maybe once I move into a bigger place, get things more financially situated, I definitely will. If right now it's just growing beautiful flowers, man, and I'm happy enough with that. And rosin presses really aren't that much, guys. You're talking about, for the cheapest rosin press, you're talking about $239 for the cheapest rosin press. So I mean, that really isn't asking too much, essentially. That is but some of them, my God, they can go up into the thousands, guys, easily. And, you know, you got to take it into consideration. You have your rosin press, your bags, and, you know, of course, your material that you grow in order to do this. And you're not going to get as much out of it as you would flour unless you're growing a huge commercial grow. And then you'll have quite a bit. So, you know, you got to take that into consideration too. You're always going to get more flour than anything, unless you're growing like 20, 30 plants at a time. And then you can kind of really narrow it down and get, what was I going to say? You can get a lot of resin. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to concentrate right here about the branches real quick. So sorry if it's a little quiet. Try not to chop the branches off right now. So I do not have that part set up. Like I said, this is going to be a step-by-step process. And I'm not even removing any sugar leaves. So any leaves I see with a lot of resin, and on this particular cultivar there is quite a bit of those. So I am trying my best to avoid that. There we go. That's pretty opened up. I've seen a lot of people defoliate like this, and it blows my mind that it don't stress out the plant. A lot of people just leave it, you know, these leaves right here, and that's pretty much it. But I've learned that's not good. That really is not good. It's good to defoliate, but you don't want to defoliate where your plants look like this. And this is, you know, your flowering leaves. because essentially these do push power and then they deplete and fatten and swell up your buds. So any leaves you're removing, and if your plant looks like this, you're not getting a lot of swell. Now this, if you're wondering, is not supposed to be a high yield cultivar. I'm sure a few of you people, you said you love Mac and you've grown Mac. I've seen a lot of people in the comments section have grown Mac before, Miracle Alien Cookies. But this is not a very big bud, huge yield. That's why I grew quite a few of them, like 3 of them, and grew them really big. These girls had 8 weeks of veg, guys, and 9 weeks of flowering. So, yeah, they had quite a long time to grow. And, you know, to be honest, I like to smoke a lot of weed, so I do like to run autos constantly. Every now and then, I'll get some special photos, and, you know, like this, I'll do some photos, man, but I just like to grow a lot of weed, man, and have a lot of harvest in one year. And you can't have a lot of harvest in here if you're just constantly filming sample photos. Now, Harry Cola, the other person on this channel that uploads every now and then, my former co-host, still my co-host, kind of 2 buds in a jar, you know, he loves photos. He loves that you can really take your time and, you know, master your craft, as he would put it. And, you know, I've already mastered my craft. I just like to grow a lot of weed at once, man. I like to have a lot of weed, so. And like I said, you can have way more cannabis if you're doing autos and constantly running autos. Now, a lot of people have more than one tent. I unfortunately do not have the room nor the resources right now. My resources are kind of just doing 1 tent, 1 grow at a time. And, you know, I have the soil and I buy everything I need, and I stock up on my nutrients and my Fox Farm Happy Frog soil. I do not use any other soil besides that. I'm one of those people, I will try newer things, but if I find something that works and works well, why the hell fuck with anything else? You know, it's kind of my MO about it, you know. If I find good soil, then, you know, why mess with any other soil? And I know there's a lot of good ones out there. There's some I do want to try, like Indicana, Purple Cow. That stuff's amazing. It's a living soil, I believe, and I'm not interested in hydroponics. I mean, that's something you guys are not want to see on here. I'm just not interested in it whatsoever. It involves way too much. I know a lot about it. You know, I can put out videos for you guys, but you won't see me actually, you know, fucking with hydroponics and, you know, doing the pH constantly, and, you know, I just don't do that shit. That's just over the top to me, man. It's not my thing. I like soil grows. I don't fuck with cocoa core either. You know, I will try cocoa core, but I just, you know, I like soil. That's just my thing. I've started in soil, and I'll just continue in soil. But, you know, so, but there's a lot of channels on YouTube that do hydroponics and things of that nature. And I'll put out videos if you guys tell me to in the comments, like, hey, I want to see about this, you know, about, you know, hydroponics or whatever the case may be. It's not like I don't know about them or how to do it. It's just I don't care to get all the equipment and fuck with it. And plus, I really don't have the time in my life, guys. You know, like a lot of you watching, I do have a 9-to-5 job that I hope one day to quit and just be a content creator. Because I do have 2 channels. One is a Scorpio's Life, and it's just a vlog about my life and everything that happens in it. It's quite fucking crazy, I gotta say. It's not your mundane, I ate breakfast, went to the gym, did this, did that. My life's pretty fucking crazy and has been, so there's a lot of stories, and there's going to be a lot of stuff going on that's going to be fucking fire, especially this summer. But now that I got a little more time from work and I can create content, I'm going to be uploading way more onto that channel. That will be periodically, and then Two Butts in a Jar is kind of like almost an everyday upload of the grow progress. Every now and then I'll throw a video in there. But I try to cram as much content on both channels because as it stands, one channel is completely monetized or going to be monetizable, and the other channel is not monetizable in any form, but it is one of my true passions. And I have a lot of viewers and a lot of people that seem to love the content, which it still blows my mind. So I'm going to keep doing both, and even if one gets monetized over the other, it's not about money. I'm not one of those YouTubers. Would I like to make enough to pay my bills and sit home and just be a full-time content creator? Yeah, who the fuck wouldn't? Like, I'm not going to lie and be like, no. But why I do this channel specifically for you guys and the passion for the plant, and I love cannabis and always have. I mean, ever since the age of 13. But I can genuinely say I got an F1 Medusa photo shoot I want to do too as well. But after these girls, we are going to run some autos. Because I have some fire autos you guys have never heard of. And some of you guys, man, I see it all in the comments. Some people think autos are fucking trash. And no, man, you're growing them wrong. That's all I can say is there's something you're not doing right. And I'm not trying to be that guy like, oh, I do everything, or I know everything, because I don't. I mean, straight up. But, there's something you're not doing right, man. I can make autoflowers come out and look just like this. I have videos of it. If the coloration's there, I can get it, the genetics, the pop, and everything. I know a bunch of tips and tricks I still haven't put on this channel. But I see all the time, man, autos are trash, autos are garbage, I only grow photos. It's like, man, you're really just narrowing your niche, man. If this shit right here, down, you should really be able to get autos down. There's no reason why you can't. And you can't grow some gas-ass autos because there's some fire ones. I mean, yeah, like years ago, they used to be some bullshit. I'm not going to lie, they just didn't narrow it down and get the genetics right and everything. And sometimes you do. You'll order bulk and you'll have some bullshit autos. I've had autos, guys, I did nothing wrong. And the rest of them grew just like this size, big ass colas, the size of pop cans. I've had some autos pop up this big and grow a 2-inch bud. That's it. I did nothing wrong. I had Happy Frog. I used nutrients. I had expensive tent equipment, the whole nine. And yeah, they were just some bullshit. But you gotta really, know what genetics you're getting and who to buy from and who not to. And, sometimes you will get burnt by seed companies. They love to throw those all buy 2, get 5 free. Those 5 free you're getting is probably some bullshit. Unless it's from a reputable company, I'm going to be honest with you. 420 Fast Buds is a real good company. They really are. Royal Queen Seeds is another real good company. Herbies. A lot of people's never heard of Herbies. Herbies is fucking fire. But there are some bullshit seed companies. Yeah, don't get it wrong. Try not to take on the old plant. It's not like they're not used to it. I try not to. But, you can see through here, this is where the light was, essentially. Right in this area. This was the par, the bright par. And there are popcorn-sized buds, but they are thick and dense. So, I mean, that is really, really good. There are no bananas, no seed problems that I am seeing in this canopy. And I'll show you guys a more detailed look once I get the camera off the stand and get these fan leaves cut off. But right now, like I said, we're just doing the boring part, guys. We're just chopping fan leaves. I wish I had a different setup. I do not have all my equipment set up in order to kind of chat with you guys. I can look at the camera periodically. But like I said, I just got off work, grabbed a shower, made some dinner, and I was like, you know what, fuck it, we're going live. It's been forever. And, you know, I'll just set a camera up and get it going. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of a spur of the moment thing. I plan to make a video, and you know, I was like, fuck it, I'm going live, you know. And if you guys like lives, go ahead, hit that like button. I mean, I won't do them necessarily like this. There'll be more interaction, so I apologize for that. But I'll do a lot more lives, you know. It's all whatever kind of content you, the audience, wants to see. I'm down to make, man. You know. So if you want to, hit that like button, and we can definitely hold the stream, and I will definitely go live a lot more and be able to comment. And sometimes it'll just be me and my ugly, dreaded mug, man. You'll see, and I'll be interacting with the viewers and, you know, showing you guys. One thing I like about this strain particularly is, I'm gonna lift it up. You can see where the branch is bent and a lot of buds bushed out at the bottoms of this. So this would be a good one to do some low stress training on. You could get a lot of bushy buds, you know. I kind of let it low stress train itself. I do appreciate the natural Christmas tree. You know, I don't mind that. I know a lot of people fucking hate it. I don't as much. I think we got that pretty much cleaned up. Yep. Now it's on to the next one. So let's go in the old tent. Oh, make sure my ass crack ain't hanging out. Go on YouTube. Everybody wants to see that shit. Oh, fuck. What's going on here? God damn. This one's the one that's a bitch. It is so heavy, guys. Look, it is bent over. It was supported upright in the tent. Now look, straight fucking leaning forward, guys. Jesus Christ. Well, let's get started. Make it a little easier. Not gonna lie. So we're gonna go ahead again, get all these giant fucking fan leaves off. Thank fuck my tent wall was holding this girl up. I mean, it's rooted into the root or into the dirt. It's just bent forward, man. This thing like low stress trained itself, literally, which I can't complain about. I used a lot of string on this. Usually I use garden ties, which you shouldn't use string, guys. So let me make that clear first and foremost. Do not use string, because string can capture mold and it cuts into your plant when they're blowing back and forth. Use garden wire. It has like a silicone cover over a piece of solid wire that can bend, and it's very malleable. But that is the best shit to use. And I have some of that. I was just lazy and got off work and didn't feel like fucking with it. So I found, you know, I don't know, some of you might not, the kitchen rope, right? That you tie up turkeys and shit with and put in an oven. Yeah, my ass fucking just grabbed some of that out of the drawer and tied it up, man. I have hemp rope too, but you shouldn't use that either. So, yeah, it was one of those things like, I'm off work, I'm exhausted, my body hurts, fuck it. Type deals. But don't do that. If you have the time and stuff, don't fucking be like me and do that dumb shit. Use a garden wire. I have a whole damn thing of it. I just didn't use it, guys. So we're getting, again, all the leaves off. And there's quite a bit of them. Quite a bit. And all these buds are supposed to be like pop-sized buds or golf ball-sized buds, essentially. And I could have defoliated probably a little more, but was an intermediate strain, and I'm in between like expert grower and intermediate grower, and I didn't want to fuck anything up because this was a beautiful culture and everybody was really excited for it. So I didn't want to do too much, and I didn't want to do too little at the same time because I didn't really want anything to go wrong and bum everybody out that, hey, the plants are fucked. There's going to be no harvest video. There's going to be no trying the cannabis out. There's going to be no curing videos. We have to start all over again. And I can tell a lot of the views, a lot of people are stoked in the beginning, and then it kind of fizzles out until, flowers start popping up. And then it kind of fizzles out until the flowers get big and beautiful like this. And, I totally get it, but I didn't want to fuck that up for the viewers at home by doing way too much with this strain because I've never worked with this particular cultivar. A lot of them I have, a lot of them I have not. It's not like I've worked with every strain and know everything about it. I do have garden journals. I do write notes and take notes about particular strains. That way I know what to do, what not to do. So I've grown some strains and god damn, like ice cream cake, I fucked that up. I'm not going to lie. I used different soil for the first time, and this is another reason I love Happy Frog, but I used a different soil and just did not breathe, and it did not let the roots grow, and plants were like this big. Then I took ice cream cake again, put it in Happy Frog, and I had plants this big. So you live and you learn. Some strains, man, they just have their own thing. And just because you know how to grow and flower cannabis doesn't mean that's going to help you when you're working against all odds on different strains. Some require different humidities, hotter temperatures, cooler temperatures, more humidity, less humidity, more phosphorus, more potassium, more nitrogen. You guys get the point. So, sometimes you have that. But what I'm going to do is get these all tripped up, and then I'm going to show you guys. And I'm going to put the camera back, and just going to keep shoving those in there. Hopefully the bin don't get too full, but probably will. But, I'm going to just show you guys up close so you can see some beautiful shots of the old nuggets. And we had a branch break too, I see, which sucks, but it mended itself. It's got a knot and knuckle, and that's why it got tied, so ain't no problem there. But the branch did bend. All these are really good. I went until, there's amber trichomes. We got 20% amber on these girls. They turned out quite beautiful, but I'm going to get into this closet. Hey, Zoe, hold on, guys. Zoe, alright, quit chilling on that. Be a good girl. Be a puffball. I'm live right now. Come on. Anyway, be a good girl. Two bunnies, man. They're fuzzballs. But sometimes if she ain't getting attention and I'm sitting next to her, she likes to act up. And pretty good. He's older, but I have a zoo. I have an Asian forest scorpion, a ball python, and 2 lion head bunnies. And they look like puffballs. A lot of people don't even know what the hell they are. A lot of people think they're dogs, cats, chinchillas. They're so fuzzy people can't tell, but growing up, always liked the movie Gremlins, and always wanted a Mogwai, right, as a child. So I seen these 2 buns, and they looked as close to Mogwai as I could possibly get. And then I learned you can train them, and, they have the intelligence of a 2-year-old, and they can be litter trained, and, you can let them roam around your house, Right now they're in a 40-foot cage that's down to about 18 feet, I think, and about 3 feet or 4 feet wide. But throughout the day, they get to hop around, and when I'm home, and throughout the nighttime, they get, put in a pen. That way they can chill out, go to bed, and they're pretty cool throughout the day. They're good pets, man. If you guys are ever interested in bunnies, I got videos on my other channel about that, because it's more about my real life and me as a person, and not just, hey, cannabis content, guys, because I wanted a channel for that too. Because I don't know about you guys, but one thing I like about YouTube and YouTubers is I like to know who I'm watching. I don't like just some asshole that gets behind a camera and puts on a mask and he's like, oh, fucking duh. I like to know who I'm watching, who I'm supporting, shit like that. So I do my due diligence and, my research. And I see who I'm, watching and supporting, what I'm supporting for that matter. And, that's more what that channel was about. Scorpio's life, because my zodiac sign's a Scorpio. Surprise, surprise, right, guys? And I couldn't think of anything else to call the channel, but I wanted to make it as real and raw as possible, and that's kind of to bring to YouTube. Just real, raw content, not just some asshole that puts on a clown mask and gets in front of a camera and is Mr. Rogers, I just wanted it to be real, and that's what I did, essentially. And, it's not like I'm an asshole in real life or anything. I just wanted it to be raw, and this is too, and that's what I kept with this channel. I wanted it to be raw. I wanted it to be real. I cuss in real life, so, I tried when I first started this channel, God damn, dude, it drove me fucking crazy. But I tried to be Mr. Rogers for the YouTube platform, alright? So it didn't ban hammer my content, but then I found out, it just don't like weed content altogether, so fuck it. Who cares? Might as well just be, have my normal, mouthpiece that I have in, real life. And after that, it was just like, I even hated myself for editing myself, because it's just like, it's taken away, I feel, from the viewer and myself. If I cuss in real life, why the hell not do it on behind a camera? Or in front of the camera, I'm sorry. If I have struggles or whatever, why not explain those and show those and, all that. So that's what a Scorpio's life is about. It's about my real life, some of my struggles, my wins, my losses, my life, and there is some stuff I will never put on the internet, because I'm not like one of these people who jump behind there and just put a bunch of shit. You probably just should. Not that I have like a dark past or any bullshit like that. It's just, you shouldn't put your whole life in the camera. You should never fucking do that. No matter if it's squeaky clean or not. It's just, I've seen a lot of people do that, and it just blows up in their asshole in one way or another, whether they're good people or terrible people. Just like vaping. YouTube don't like that. I vape in real life. I'm a chain vapor. I'm going to do it on a live stream. I'm going to do it on my videos. YouTube don't like it. The platform. I quit smoking cigarettes. It's been 11 years since I've smoked a cigarette, and I feel a lot healthier. I'm proud about that. So, why not just share that, So that's kind of just what, essentially, I guess in a nutshell, ran together what that channel is. It's just, me, and if you want to get to know me as a person, then, check out A Scorpio's Life in all caps. Just hit that cat button, put A Scorpio's Life, and you'll see a picture of my dreaded ass on there, man. And you'll learn more about me. If you're just interested in the cannabis content, that's all you really care about, I get that too. Just watch two bugs in a jar. I've been thinking about changing the name, man. The reason I haven't is, me and one of my best friends, Harry Cola, I'm just calling him by his name. He doesn't want his name out there. But, yeah, we started this channel and we came up with the name for it, man. So, I didn't really want to change that, man, because that's what 6,000 and 7,000 people know us as, two buds in a jar. And I mean, really, it should be called one bud in a jar now, man. But, it is what it is. These leaves are beautiful. I never thought I'd say that. I'm looking at the buds and they're frosty and white. Like, they're so white. Even at night, when the light shut off, I turn my green light on because plants can't photosynthesize green light. And I'd see all these beautiful silver white buds. Yeah, there's been times I even was like, is that mold? Like, damn, that's white or silvery looking. And now it's just super fucking frosty. And I've grown strains like that. It's just some of them, you're like, damn, look like diamonds. They're so beautiful. There we go. Now we're going to get the tray real quick. I don't know how the fuck I'm going to do this, guys, but we're going to do this. We're going to get this tray. My trim tray I always use. It's usually a rolling tray, guys. It's a giant cannabis rolling tray. And essentially I use it for, rolling weed or trimming now. And once I trim, I cut the branches. So all I got to do is cut the branches off this stalk right here, get the rest of the leaves off this one. But since this one's leaning and has some fucked up branches, we're just going to kind of, as we go and trim the leaves off, we're going to set the tray up right here off to the left side, and we're going to get it popping and get the branches moved. So let's get it. Hopefully I don't bust my ass on this rabbit cage, or else you guys are going to have some better energy. Get out my buns, you guys ain't going to like this. There we go. Give me 1 second here, guys. I don't know if you can see me. Probably not. It's a camera stationary. Eventually I want to get one of those cameras that follow me. This does follow me to a degree, but yeah. There we go. See, it has these two legs, man. Has, bam, dope. What weed used to be called back in the motherfucking day before I was even born. So this is what I put my branches on. Boom, 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 boom. So let's set this off to the side right here. Make sure there's no nasty shit on it. Hair or whatnot. Nope, we are good. It's clean as a whistle. And usually I use Clorox wipes. Now when I get done with every grow, guys, this is what I recommend. Use this on your tent. Use unscented, but if you use scented, just wait a day or so and the scent will go away. This is the best way to make sure you don't get no mold, no bullshit, no nothing. Clorox wipes. Shout out to Clorox for cleaning my grow tent and growing some great cannabis, mold fucking free. But let's get it, guys. So this is going to be a little easier now that we have this, what's it called, tray here. So what we're going to do is undo this rope here. There we go. This one's going to be a bitch. That's why I got it out, because I knew this would take a while. There we go. And then we just boom, 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 boom. Damn, this thing's bent. It's heavy. I can feel it in my fingertips. These are some very dense buds. So even though it doesn't look like a lot of cannabis, it definitely is. I mean, I can tell by the weight with my fingers that, yeah, the buds are a lot more dense. So let's cut that off. And this will make this process a lot quicker, guys. I know this is a boring part of the video, but unfortunately, it's got to be done. this have sugar leaf on it? Yes, it does. So we're going to go ahead and leave that like that. And we're just going to sit that there. And we're going to sit that like that. Cut that off. There we go, guys. Got another branch done, and now this should go swimmingly a lot quicker. This is typically how I do this. If I wasn't in front of you guys doing this, I'd be listening to some Stick Figure, some Cottonmouth Kings. I'm an old school Cottonmouth Kings lover, man. They fucking really influenced me in this. Once I found out they created King's Blend and, you know, really pioneered the underground cannabis movement, you know, I was always just, I don't know, I get it, yeah, influence is the best word to use. And I've talked to D-Lo personally on Instagram, and he respects the channel, man, and what I do, and I told him he was a big inspiration, so, you know, I had my little nerdy fan out, you know, moment. I'm like, damn, dude, like I was 13 years old smoking weed out of a metal pipe in a garage listening to Cottonmouth Kings, you know, and I'm listening to them, you know, and I've been heavily inspired by them. They're just a great group, even though they did break apart, but D-Lo kept the movement, you know, and his name's Dustin. His real name's Dustin, like mine, which I thought was cool. I didn't find that out till years later. And, you know, even Harry Cola left 2 buds in a jar and just uploads every now and then on it. You know, I wanted to keep just like him, I kept the movement going, man, you know, not giving up. Weed's legal, a lot more technology and a lot more things are becoming more accessible and easily accessible. I'm sponsored, and, you know, I'm just going to keep it going, man. I'll keep it going till I'm dead in the ground. If I could grow weed even if I'm dead in the ground, man, I would. I don't know what good it would do me, but I'd keep it going. Beautiful flowers. It does have hints and notes of vanilla. Really pungent. It has an earthy smell. Like, you can smell the soil you've used. And then you can slightly smell the chlorophyll from like the cut leaves, but outside of that, the terpenes are like a deep diesel, like a very resinous sour diesel without the sour notes, and it's more vanilla. So it is gas, dude. It's just straight fucking gas. That's what it smells like. And this is easy. Now, for all you people beginning, this is what you want to do. You just boom, 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 boom. And you want to cut as close to the bud without cutting the bud as humanly possible. I always usually do it upside down, but right now I'm doing it in front of the camera. So I kind of want to just show you guys head-on view of what I do. Oh shit, that was a sugar leaf. Keep the sugar leaf. Those are going to make for good edibles. God damn. Every time I do this, guys, I have a shit ton of leaves on my fucking floor. A shit ton. God, look at this branch. Look at that. Look at that. Fucking beautiful. Look. That low stress trained itself, man. Literally, look at all those oxys. Definitely poofed out the buds. So we're going to cut that off, cut that off. Cut that off, that. I always have a mess on my floor, like I said, but it's all good. But yeah, this is usually what I do, guys. I just usually listen to music, Cottonmouth Kings or Stick Figure, one of the two, and trim my marijuana. There we go. There we go. Don't want to trim the sugar leaf. There we go. See how easy that is? And you just have your branches. So this is the first process. It's just getting everything like that. Look at these. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful cultivar. I'm very pleased with this. Very pleased, guys. You know, I could have done some things to have a more uniform colas. I could have done some things to, but I did things to make it more resinous, and I did things to make bigger buds. And I used a shit ton of CO2, organic CO2 of that. Not the canister shit, organic CO2. So I'm really happy with that, to be honest. Cannot be happier. And I will make a lot of shorts with this, guys. You will definitely see a lot of shorts from harvested cannabis. But right now, since this plant is like Paul Wall sitting sideways, a lot of you guys probably caught the reference. A lot of you guys are probably like, who the fuck is Paul Wall? But we're trying to negate as much weight off of it as possible. So there's so many damn leaves on this side. So many. Now this was the broken branch. There we go. Whoa, guys. Oh, this rope, what the fuck is going on with this rope, guys? What is going on with it? There we go. Damn, I need to sharpen my scissors. Bullshit. I have so many pairs of these guys from so many different companies, and every time I go to harvest my plant, it's like I can only find the same damn pair I've been using every damn growth. It's all as fuck. There we go. Leaves for days, guys. Leaves for days. So we're going to cut this, that, and since this is split in half, do that. That way we can take that top bud. And then this monstrosity right here that has so many auxins and growth hormones naturally going to the plant. Now, I did not use growth hormones. This is natural. Once it bends, it creates what's called auxins, which is a natural growing growth hormone in the cannabis plant. It'd be great if they could organically extract that from the cannabis plant and you could refeed it to your plant to grow bigger buds. But unfortunately, that is not how it works. It's crazy, the clusters of buds this plant gets. And some of this bud's like bright neon green, guys. Some of it's like dark purple. Some of it's like maroon blood. Like a blood maroon dark color is the best way to explain it. Some of it's purple. Some of it's black purple. God damn, that's a big fan leaf. Here's one of those mutated leaves, guys. Never did. Some of them do grow. Some of them just have genetic mutations. I had this where it was growing 2 here, 3 here, 4 here. Each time it went up, it grew more and more leaves in the middle. Some of them do bud. This one just did not. You'll tell because there will be hairs. So if you have this, it's called a piggyback mutation. You'll have hairs right here in the center, 1 or 2, you know, and at an early stage, even in veg, there'll be like some of the first hairs that pop up on the plant. That's when you know there'll be a bud right here. And that's a second mutation. Piggyback is when it starts growing these leaves you see. And right now you can see there's 3 in the center. 1, 2, 3, right? So if you move these down, this is the natural fan leaf. Right there's 3. Those going up, growing 4, 5, etc. So it's kind of growing a leaf within itself. Crazy, right? But with a strain like Miracle Alien Cookies, it doesn't surprise me that you'll have these type of weird, odd mutations. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes it can be because it shows an impurity in genetics where they just didn't nail it, and you know they kind of just sold you the seeds anyway. This is not one of those things. This is kind of a natural occurring mutation. So I was happy when I researched that, found that out, even did a video on it. Do not use this type of string. It's some bullshit. Especially to get off the harvest. But get these leaves cleaned up real quick. Boom, boom, boom. And if you can't invest in latex gloves, I highly recommend that. So what we're going to do is get this top pull off. Boom. Just like that. Boom. 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 There's a frosty. We're going to keep that. But this did grow quite a bit of beautiful weed. Quite a bit of beautiful weed, I gotta say. I do have more of these seeds, so you will see Miracle Alien cookies pop up in yet another grow. But it'll be far in the future from now. That's for sure. Because I already grew this, and I don't want to bore you guys by growing the same damn strain again and again. I see some cannabis channels, man, they'll like grow the same motherfucking strain 3, 4, 5, 6 times in a row. You can see people giving a shit slowly deplete. You know, them views go down. And, you know, people just want to see different shit, you know, different cultivars. And I have a lot of them. I have a huge bank of genetics. I cannot wait. And that's why I wanted to go ahead. And plus this was ready. Harvest this, get this out of the way, and get more seeds into the dirt, you know. I know a lot of you guys do that. You stock up on seeds and you're like, man, this is beautiful and I can't wait and it looks great, you know, but I can't wait to get some new genetics down into the ground. Oh, it smells good. I wish you guys could smell this. I really do. I hope some in the near future they create a way where you can smell what people are doing. And I mean, as far as this, because goddamn, there's going to be some weirdos that do some shit. But, you know, for cannabis TV purposes, that'd be fucking great, dude. You know, if the day they create that, motherfucker's going to be barking on their damn phone. Dumb shit. But I wish you guys could smell these terps, man. This is crazy. This thing grew nuts. I didn't even, like, you know, I would look at these plants and do what I need to do once I got off work and stuff, but this thing just grew like a fucking bush in a jungle. It just did its own natural fucking thing, man, after it was defoliated and fed. It was the side that was like leaning up against my tent wall in the back, you know, because it was supporting it essentially. And you never pay attention, man. Too much attention sometimes. And I looked at these, I did shorts for you guys every fucking day. So I was constantly looking at these plants and shit, but this thing just turned into some crazy ass bush, dude. Some wild ass fucking bush. But I'll make a video on. I will make a video. This is my trim video. A lot of people wanted to see 2 buds in a jar trim ritual. I already told you what I typically would be doing. But you're listening to Cottonmouth Kings or Stick Figure. If you haven't heard of Stick Figure on YouTube, please look them up. That man will change your life. But I will show you guys how I desanitize with my Clorox wipes and everything. It's more than just wiping stuff down. I will make a video on that, but that will be Monday or Tuesday because those are the 2 days I have off work. And there we go. I will also be showing you a lot on this live stream. A lot. So like I said, there are people just starting and want to know how the fuck. Jesus, that fucking twisted itself around, didn't it? But there's people wanting to know, like, how do you start trimming, or how do you even begin to harvest? And this is how you do it. You cut off branch by branch and all these leaves. And then next is the buds. And there's a hippie trim. Hippie trim, I'll show you with this, essentially is where you just leave the frosted bud or bud leaves, and it's more leafy if it's frosted. Now if you have leaves that aren't frosted and they're just green, kind of like this one for instance, right here, you don't want to do that shit. So it's going to make your weed taste harsh and like shit. But if you have more, trichome and terp-filled leaves like these up here, that's fine. Typically, I just reach in there with needle type trimmers. These are the only ones I have. They kind of come to a very fine, sharp point. And I get all of those out of there, and I put them in a bowl. And then I cure them with my cannabis. I'll set it on my shelf in the tent, which I'll show you. And I fucking use it, like I said, for edibles or for butter. A lot of trimming, guys. Just stay with me. We got this down. All I have to do is go boom, 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 branch by branch, lay that down, finish this one, and then we get the monster out of the corner. I saved one of the best for last. This thing's about this damn tall. It was the biggest one out of the group. If you remember, if you were following, and a lot of you were, throughout the whole fucking grow, which I appreciate, there was a giant one. And that's what made my canopy uneven. I used a trellis net because these were heavier colas. But I'm kind of glad I did it. I'm happy with the results. I had a couple broken branches I'd amend, but they grew right back. And it ended up producing a lot of auxins, growth hormones that essentially went to the colas and made huge golf ball sized ass colas. To me, I'm gonna be honest, guys, harvest is always sweet because you spend all this time growing these beautiful, beautiful plants, purples. You have all these beautiful colors. Then you gotta cut it all up. But if not, it'll just degrade and go to waste. Let's face it, we grow weed because we have passion, but we also want to get stemmed. So, you don't want to just let your flowers deteriorate and nothing, but it's always bittersweet for me, every harvest. And I've always felt that way since I began to, now it's just like, damn, this is beautiful. It turned out great, but I'm also destroying something that's really fucking beautiful. I spent a lot of time with it. So, it's that bittersweet moments of growing. And a lot of people don't feel that way, but, if you truly, I feel, are passionate about the plant, what you're doing, there's a part of you that's like, damn, man, I'm destroying something beautiful with a pair of fucking shears. God, that's a lot of leaves. Leaves everywhere. And man, like I said, there's sometimes I've done this, and my whole floor, I've had to get a broom and a dustpan and just get all the leaves off the floor, There we go. Look at that. Would you look at that? But there's been times I've had to do that. There's been times I've had to get a shot back because there's so many damn leaves. Sugar leaf, sugar leaf. Top leaves are usually sugar leaves. Boom, 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 boom. Boom. And I just grab these nodes in between. It makes everything a little easier. And you're trimming all these damn leaves off. So many damn leaves, guys. So many damn leaves. I was so exhausted from work today, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I was white, dude. I do retail because I mean I like talking with people, helping people, informing people on things. I'd rather do content like this. Much rather do that. But that job can be numbing, mind numbing, and body numbing. I'm telling you. So many price tags and SKUs and numbers and talking to so many people. And that's why a lot of times I can't make videos because my voice will just be fucked from talking to people all day. And I don't mind talking to people, don't get me wrong, but sometimes, you know, you talk so much in customer service and retail. Let me know down in the comments if you guys done this. But you get tired of hearing yourself, and your throat hurts like you've been screaming all day. But this is what you're left with. Just a stick, guys. Something that looks like bamboo, essentially. So, clean up all these levers, put them in there. There we go. And then we're going to cut all the branches off that once we get all these leaves cleaned up. And then what I do is I get a 6-gallon trash bag, essentially, and I just grab this up, out, keep it like that, take the root ball, put it in the 6-gallon trash bag, all of them, and then I throw it away. And then I take my fabric pots and I keep it separate from my clean fabric pots. So as you can see, it's pretty damn dirty and has a lot of salts in it. You can see all the white, it's not mold, guys. It's salts from bleaching the soil and flushing. I flushed these girls. I ran 15 gallons through each one, a total 60 gallons 2 times. And used a lot of pH down. I never hardly have to use pH up, ever, when I do this shit. I'll be putting my feet in my OnlyFans now, I'm just kidding. But, yeah, so I used 60 gallons altogether for all 3 plants, and essentially that's pretty much it. I've done that twice, and it leached out. I can see a lot of the salts. Always grow some monsters. I've known throughout my career of growing cannabis has grown some massive ass autos. Like I've grown autos that are, I'm 6'1", I've grown autos that are about my height. I've grown 7-foot autos. I prefer plants about this size, but sometimes I just grow some beast, man. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab another pair of scissors, and this one's going to be easy. Once you get all your leaves off, you just go ahead, cut, put on there, cut that, put it on there, that on there, boom. And then I'm just going to follow in suit all the way up the plant. It's quite easy. And I do this, and I've been doing this the same way for years. I just cut the fan leaves off, keep the sugar leaves on top, then I'll cut the sugar leaves off in a bowl, and cut the buds off onto the net, the dry rack. I am really pleased how this turned out. And it did not look like a lot of weed on the plant, but now that I got it all trimmed up, with all the leaves off, and I got it on my, what the hell is this thing called? I guess rolling tray, but I use it as a trim tray. It's quite a bit of weed, and I'll show you guys. Once I'm done, I'll show you guys at the camera. I'll pick it up. It's quite a bit of marijuana cookies ready. And I'm pretty damn happy. I can't say that enough. I know I've said that quite a few times this stream, but look at that. Look at that. Just beautiful, man. underneath even, you can see the purples in it. How dark black and purple it is. Absolutely beautiful. If I could just live in this and never come out, I would be one happy motherfucker. Just live in a bud. I'd be pretty sticky. My dreads would make it. There we go. There's so many people watching like this beautiful motherfucker. And boom. Last branch on that. So we got 1 and 2 right there, guys. And what we want to do is go ahead and grab these leaves out. Boom. Shove those in the trim bin. Trim bin. Trim bin. Trim bin. Now, if I had my own property, I'd just throw the shit in the woods and let it do its thing naturally. Become compost, natural compost. Let me grab the last one. That's for last. Now, like I said, I flushed and ran a lot of water, but I was waiting for him to do this, what you see now. See how these leaves are just drooping and hanging? I waited until they were dry, because harvesting when they're wet and dealing with wet soil in a trash bag is a bitch. So we're going to cut this off. Boom. 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 These leaves turned out just beautiful. I mean, you don't grow weed for leaves, but goddamn, they're colorful. Every color of autumn and fall you can imagine. So we're going to take this trim bin, kind of leave it right here. Make all this a little easier. This branch grew quite weird, guys. Quite weird. Boom. 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 Getting that. Getting that. Getting that. 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 And plus, floppy leaves that aren't turgid. We went over that, turgor pressure and turgid pressure. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just check out the video if you would on the channel. But are a lot easier to trim. Because as you turn the branch to trim, they just kind of hang there like dreadlocks do, or long hair does essentially. Which I did trim my dreadlocks. They were clear down to here, guys. If you remember, you can see in the shorts. I finally trimmed them, but I was beside myself. I did not want to do it, but the ends were just 6 years old, I believe, and they just needed a, trim because they were all bunched up to get them to round off at the bottom, and they were just very weighty. So I just had to do that. There. There we go. I'm sure YouTube is loving this live stream right now. I know it typically does. Sorry guys, I am not more sat up and prepared. It's just, I got off work and it was a spur of the moment thing. And I know you guys love live streams, and it's been so damn long since I gave you guys one. And you guys were excited about this miracle alien cookies, which I totally understand. So, I wanted to give you guys just a long ass live stream, essentially. There we go. Sorry, I'm talking. Some parts of this just requires kind of pure concentration, because I'm not trying to cut the buds off the stem right now. trying to avoid that right now. God, this part's leaking. There we go. I know some people are flipping through this and like, who the hell's this guy trimming weed on YouTube? Funny shit, man. People discover you and don't know who you are yet. Some people, you know, definitely. Shout out to a few of the viewers. Spider Dan, man. Spider Dan is always in the comments. He's from the UK, man. Always growing some fire. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to Toilet Bowl. He's awesome. Definitely. And there's just so many of you. Eventually I'm going to write down your names because you're always in the comments. There's Kingfish Phil, man. Shout out to you, sir. Shout out to all you guys watching and that subscribe. Thank you guys so much. Without you guys, you know, I mean, I'd just be filming and doing this stuff for myself, I guess. Because I would even because, you know, I wanted to keep track of all my grows and I thought of doing a video also would be a great way to do it, but I did not know so many people would just actually care. And I do want to talk about the short I made here recently. It was a PSA, I believe. You know, people, I don't know if they come from Instagram, Twitter. I like that smell over there, Zoe. I know you hate the smell of this shit. It's strong as hell, but I apologize, little fuzzball. But there's just some people that come on the channel and they either act like they know more or what I know isn't shit, or that I don't know what I'm talking about, or they have less subscribers and less views and why they get butthurt. I don't know. I'm not trying to be egotistical here because I'm not that kind of dude. Saying an ego, you know, a dick swinging contest, if you will. But there's just some people that come in sometimes and they're so fucking toxic, dude. You know, I have people coming in talking about big shit topics we don't talk about here, you know, race, religion, politics. We don't talk about that shit on this channel. You know, everybody's welcomed. This is a welcome platform. It don't matter what you believe in or, you know, what your political stance is or, you know, what color you are, red, white, blue, black, white, brown. It don't matter. I don't care. You know, I'm cool with all people and I want to keep this channel safe, man, for people. You know, I don't want toxic individuals coming in and fucking things up, simply. And, you know, I had that recently, you know, and I don't take well to people coming in and talking shit about my co-host, my best friend of 6 years, it's going on 7. And I don't take well to people, you know, talking shit about me. I'll address you on short and, you know, shout out your username. I won't crash out or go crazy, man. I'm not one of them YouTubers, but I'll make sure you know, you know. But that'll be the last thing you say on the channel because you'll be hidden. You know, you will not harass any of my viewers. You will definitely not harass me. And, you know, I want to keep this a safe platform for everybody. I want everybody to get along, and I want everybody to, you know, share their techniques or, you know, learn. And I don't want it to be a toxic environment. Sometimes you just have those people that come from I don't know what fucking platforms. Or I'd stop sharing my videos because I'm on so many platforms, guys. You got to know I can. Patreon, Kick, Rumble, Twitter, formerly known as X, whatever the fuck. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. You know, there's 7 right there. So, I mean, it's hard to narrow down where these assholes come from. But sometimes you get these retards in there and they just go full retard. You know, you just gotta kick them, man, because I got loyal subscribers, I got loyal viewers, I got people just pop in to see the grows every now and then. But and like I said, they come from all different backgrounds. Dude, I got people that come from Germany, Russia, Africa, Jamaica, UK, America, fucking everywhere, Mexico, Rome, even. So Two Buds in a Jar is kind of known all over the world, and I want everybody that tunes in to feel welcome. I don't want people fucking that shit up, man, because you will be kicked and removed, man. I don't care how many profiles or what the fuck you do. And if you fuck up enough, dude, I will find you on social media and personally message you myself. I've done that with a few people. Because they have said some things that I'm not going to repeat. How do I put this properly? Let me think for a minute, since I am live on YouTube. They have just said some things that aren't allowed, that's a terms of service on YouTube, and it was about specific origins of things and people and things of that nature, but they came on just talking all sorts of crazy when the video I made was purely about cannabis and cannabis knowledge, and they just had to be removed. But they have made second profiles and third profiles, and I found them on social media and I did message them personally. And if it gets to that, I do that. It's easy to find people. I am good with IP addresses and all this stuff. I know how to work my way around the computer. I just don't have time for editing, or I edit my videos. So I just wanted to talk about steps, because I don't want people just finding this channel and be like, damn, this dude's an asshole. That's not the case. There's just people that get on there and they're very fucking toxic human beings. I don't know if there's something going on in their life or whatever the fuck the case may be, but some of this shit you just shouldn't say or think or feel, period. And you definitely shouldn't be putting it on a cannabis channel. Because, that's some of the stuff that was mentioned from some of the people that I messaged personally shouldn't have been mentioned, period, on the internet. You really need to reevaluate your morality. And those things I will not repeat, because it can definitely get my channel deleted. Even if I'm not saying them particularly, but a lot of them is banned words, certain banned words. A lot of them were topics that were just not good. So that's why I made that short, guys. I don't want you to think I'm some kind of egotistical asshole that just, well, you're not going to do this because I know what I'm doing and this. That's not the case, man. I'm still learning stuff, It's more detailed scientific stuff so I can share with you guys, but, I'm still learning and stuff, but I ain't got time for toxicity in my life, man. And I don't like people like that, So I've lived a crazy life, man. I've seen a lot of darkness in my life, a lot of dark people, a lot of fucked up ass people. So I keep that off my channel and away from you guys, because I know some of you guys deal with bullshit in your everyday life. And I don't want that. I want you to, when you get home from work or to escape from the bullshit, to turn on the TV and boom, there's my channel, and you can chill and talk to people and not have to deal with bullshit and shit. Now that moment of seriousness is out of the way, guys, and I cleared the air on that short, so I felt like I needed to kind of reiterate on it. 3 minutes just isn't long enough to explain why you're making it short. I do feel, since I have such a wide audience, that I do have to, reiterate and give more depth as to why I say the things and jump on shorts as I do. But let's get back to the trivia process. What a lighter note. Because I know a lot of you guys have been waiting for this. This is strange. A bud popped up right here, guys. Right at the... That's strange. This has some weird genetic malformations, would be the proper terminology. Just some strange occurrences that naturally happen with this strain. It's just odd as fuck. There we go. Another beautiful branch. Boom. Cut that one. I'm going to go ahead and do that and that. This is the easiest way I found to harvest. Is just grab right in between these inner nodes right here and go up the plant and, get all the leafers off and, keep your shirt season. So I'm going to do that, boom, boom. And if you guys like this kind of stuff where I'm just sitting, chilling, talking to you, I'm going to set it up next time where I can kind of interact with you guys more than you guys just kind of sit and hear my face basically continuously talk as I'm trimming. But if you guys like this type of stuff, then fuck, I'll interact with you guys in the next harvest, man, and we can just chop up the shit and I can trim. I have no problem with that. I love talking to you guys. I try to answer all your comments and respond to all your video ideas and put videos out there. I'm not one of these YouTubers that will ever get so big, and a lot of people, that's another thing I want to talk about when I'm sitting here doing this. I'm never going to be one of those YouTubers. I could have 1 million subscribers, okay? And I could get 1,000 comments a day. Now, I may not be able to sit there and, work my fingers because I'd get some serious arthritis or some shit, but I will answer you guys as much as humanly possible. Because I essentially am just a guy that created a channel on YouTube, just like anybody else, just like all the bigger names. And I notice a lot of people do that. They become big, they get a lot of subscribers, they kind of get the monetization they want, and then they just forget about their viewers. They don't even talk to them. And it's crazy because who would you be without the people watching? And I want you guys to look at it that way too. All these big names, Mr. Beast, PewDiePie, Markiplier, all these bigger names you've probably heard of 1 billion times on YouTube, may not even care about or watch, because I don't watch Mr. Beast. I don't like him. I don't like his content. I ain't got a problem with him personally. It's just not my thing. I don't give a fuck. But none of these people would be shit without you guys sitting home watching it, without you clicking, without you liking, without you subscribing. And a lot of these people, I feel, get egotistical and forget about that. And I will never be one of those people. I'm quite humble. I told you guys years ago, about 2 or 3 years ago, 2 years ago, exactly, I'd be happy if I had 800 subscribers. I never in my fucking life thought I'd make a YouTube video that got 80,000 views. Ever. I thought hell would freeze over before, something like that would happen. It's happened, and I have videos with 70,000, 80,000. I'm almost up to 1 million views. I've got almost 7,000 subscribers. I know a lot of people have hundreds of thousands and millions of subscribers, but, I just never thought I could produce something that people would enjoy that much. And so I'm humble and always will be. And I'll never forget that it is the viewers at home watching the channel that makes everything, So thank you guys. No shit. There we go. Now we're almost done with the third plant. Eventually I gotta get a new paint ball. This thing's got the hell beat out of it, but it's still working. I don't feel like I'm kind of, I'll use something and use something and use something until it fucking shits out completely, man. But now it's time to trim these beautiful leaves. Look at that. It's crazy coloration. Crazy coloration. Beautiful, I gotta say, with this particular strain. This is a really good representation of fall. I mean, within this cultivar. Speaking of the word cultivar, there is some older videos where I use the word strand, S-T-R-A-N-D. And I've had so many people that actually I had to put it in the comments that, it's strain, not strand. I had so many people tell me that. You gotta understand, guys, at one point we were shooting so many videos and we would do it early in the morning till 12, 1 o'clock. And the next day I couldn't talk. I had to be quiet and mute all day because of my voice. And we were pumping out content, pumping out content, pumping out content. And it was just mindless put. Now, let me clarify something. It's not strand, it's not strain, S-T-R-A-I-N. It's cultivar. These are particularly bred nowadays for genetic coloration, terpenes, potency, etc. When you look up anything like, let's say for instance, apples, we'll use apples for instance. There's Macintosh, there's Fuji, there's Pink Ladies. These aren't strains of apples. These are cultivars of apples because they got bred to perfection. That's the same thing with this. This is not a strain or a strand. This is a cultivar. And they're not strains. It's not either word. So I had a lot of people correct me on that, and it is one of my pet peeves, but you gotta understand, man, I made so many videos that it popped out several videos, and then people just never let me live it down. That's my one lol cow moment online. Enjoy it, guys. I said strand instead of strain, when really it ain't either. It's cultivar, and that's why I use the terminology cultivar. Because that's what these are. They're particular cultivars. So I just wanted to point that out because I have that happen a lot. I'm sure you guys have seen it in the comment section if you've been on this channel long enough, where people are like, it's strain, not strand. Or I stopped watching when he said strand. It's like, bro, I was pumping out 6, 7 videos a motherfucking day, 7 days a week, okay? From 9 a.m. till 1 o'clock in the morning. Shit's bound to happen. Sometimes you just let it in there. You don't edit it. You just run with it, because you have so many videos, and I still have so many videos for you guys. So, I mean, if you guys ever seen that in the comment section, that's what that shit's about. It's goofy, but it happened. And that, I can say, is my one ball cow moment, if you want to call it that. Where I said something to make it sound like I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about ever. Yeah. It is what it is. I don't give a shit. But for all you people that are particular on terminologies watching or may come across this live stream, it ain't strain or strand. It's cultivar. If you want to be technical and sound professional when you're talking about grown cannabis, it's a cultivar. There's Landrace cultivars and Landrace strains, but it's still a Landrace cultivar because through evolution of it being naturally grown has evolutionized. Like Afghani skunk, for instance. Afghani Kush. Afghani Kush grew in the mountains of Afghanistan. It grew naturally over periodic time in the wild until it really got those genetic traits that it has. And then it became a cultivar. And now it's bred with, let's say Mac and Afghani Kush cross. That's a cultivar. So just about the little fact, guys. But we're going to hurry up with these leaves. I've been trimming leaves for probably about 2 hours now. I like to talk and blabber along. I apologize. You guys are probably waiting to see all this huge tray of buds. Right there. I'm going to do the same walk up with the fingers. Boom. 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 Now this dot stock right here is beautiful. This looks like some magazine shit. I don't typically talk about my cannabis. I mean, you guys do. You see it, you're like, damn, you did, that looks like it should be on High Times. I don't typically say that about anything I do because I'm a perfectionist. And if my shit didn't turn out top tier, everything perfect, then I won't say anything about it. This part right up here with the way this, and once I get these trimmed off, I'll bring it to the camera. It does look like something that would be in my terms. I can definitely say that. I will toot my own horn, tote my own bowl on that. A lot of trimming, guys. It's a lot of work. I have to take the day break. Shit the bed, my battery's died. I'll have to grab another set. I'll do that in a minute. So, we're going to do boom, boom. All these beautiful, look at these baby guys. I know for you, those of you who are grown back have seen it, but look at that coloration. It's been a long time since I've grown strains this color. Even this is quite strange. Look at that. The oxen's growing as the yellow fade, the natural yellow fade of flower. Crazy, crazy looking cultivar. I can see why it's called Miracle Alien Cookies because the strain does look quite alien. Or the cultivar, I'm sorry. This particular cultivar does look quite alien. It's quite odd. I mean, to be honest, this is an odd strain for cultivar of weed. Boom, boom, boom. And then I wanted to show you guys this. So we're going to go ahead and do that. That. Balls deep over here in the fucking leaves. Damn. There we go. I don't even know if I have anybody watching, to be honest, anymore. How many of you are watching, but if anybody's watching this, any of the Canna family, I highly appreciate it. If you've strolled in the shorts and come across it, wonder what the hell is this dreaded dude doing with this weed, I appreciate you watching too. But this is what I was talking about. Look at that. Oh, there's that damn phone again. Look at that, Canna family. Big old dense nuggets. Beautiful. Beautiful. Set that right there, like so. Hopefully my tray don't bend from all the weight. It's like I said, these are heavy. Now I wanted to get all these out of the way because I do have to take my light down in order to hang up my dry rack. And boom, there we go. Once I do that, I will show you guys further on what I do. And I won't be sitting down, I'll be standing up and moving around a lot. So I might have to adjust the camera. And I do have to work tomorrow, but you know what? Fuck it. I'll still go to work tomorrow, but you know, this is a joyous occasion. It's always very ritualistic with me. So, and plus I got the Canna fam with me. So, fuck it. Alright. As long as I show up to work, that's all that matters tomorrow. I'm here, guys. Fuck. You know? How many of you guys Monday morning or every day of the week have that attitude? Well, I'm here. Fuck. I know I do. Maybe one day I'll get a job I enjoy. Maybe one day I'll get a job making content for you guys. You know, that's the goal. Either on one channel or the other. Sustainable income where I can just make content, teach people, and meet cool people, man. You know? Look at that. I'm gonna go ahead and cut that off. That little tiny leafer. Make sure none of the buns get any of these leaves. Bunnies, by the way, fun little fact, cannot have cannabis leaves. They cannot process THC and it becomes very toxic. So it's very important to me that my bunnies do not get these leaves. Or that's the same way with any other pet, by the way, cats, dogs, etc. Do not feed your plant or cannabis. Don't get your animals high off weed because it's scary for them and they don't know what the fuck is going on, man. It's like, somebody shooting you walking down the road and somebody pops out of the bush and shoots you in the ass with a tranquilizer dart of LSD. All of a sudden you're just on your daily routine of going to work or hanging out with family and you start tripping balls. And you don't know what the fuck's going on. You're gonna be freaked the fuck out. It's the same thing with them, man. And it's very toxic. Their body, they can use certain cannabinoids and CBD, yes, but that's why they make tinctures without THC. Because THC is not easily digestible and metabolized for dogs, cats, ferret, whatever. Mammalian creatures. If it has fur and 4 legs and a tail, I apologize for my phone going off. It'll do that from time to time, but just a quick little PSA. Don't get your animals high and don't give it leaves, weed. Don't give it to your horses or cats, dogs, bunnies, anything. We have cannabinoids. We humans, they create natural cannabinoids. We don't really need to ingest THC for our body to produce natural cannabinoids. We have an endocannabinoid system. But because THC fits so perfectly within the structural part of the brain, I guess to put simply, that binds to these THC molecules and fits in there perfectly. It's like we're able to get stoned from THC. So once we smoke, flower, weed, and the THC floods the brain, it binds to these molecules. And because of the molecular structure of our brain and the binding of these molecules, we're able to get stoned. Other animals don't. They do get high, but it becomes toxic. Our body can digest it and, process it through an endocannabinoid system. Now, all creatures, mammalian, even I think including fish, don't quote me on that one. All mammalian creatures have an endocannabinoid system, but theirs is natural. They can't process THC, tetrahydrocannabinol, or tetrahydric. Wow, I had a complete fucking brain fart on camera. THC, man. So, I had a brain fart. It's been a long day at work. I apologize. But essentially, it just can't process it if it's toxic. Do not give your animals any form of THC. Your dog don't enjoy being high off edibles. It's not funny. It's animal abuse. It's fucked up. You wouldn't give an infant cannabis and then laugh about it falling around the ground, would you? Okay, well then you shouldn't do it with your animals. Or your kids, for that matter. Definitely not your fucking kids. You gotta wait till the brain matures at a certain age and really receive cannabis. But there we go. Just a quick healthy PSA from Two Buds in a Jar. Trying to protect your pets at home. Okay? I like animals, man. They're cool fucking creatures. Especially about time. They'll be happy, this bright ass light. Now they have been enjoying the light. They like to sunbathe in it. But fortunately, it's been on for quite some time. 12 hours on, 12 hours off. And I'm sure they're fucking tired of 430 watts full spectrum LED on 12 hours. I'm sure they'd like to have some nice cool nights and days without a dehumidifier making it warmer in this room, because lion heads are double maned, man, and they have a lot of dense fur that's kind of hydrophobic in a way, which means it repels water. And they do get hot very easy. You have to keep them in cooler temperatures of 65 degrees. It can get about 70, but sometimes it gets 75, 76 in this room because of the dehumidifier. And I do run 2 air conditioners in here, but sometimes it's just not enough on top of the dehumidifier. So eventually I'll move to a place that has central air, but right now, unfortunately, I use air conditioners. And there we go. All these little leaves. Get these out of here. Get out of here. There we go. Trimming, guys. Boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Beautiful. Beautiful. Boom, set that there. Cut that in half. See, it is a big branch, guys. It's a big lower branch. And then this. Look at that, guys. So many top colas that look like that. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And there's step 1. As you can see, we've got a big stalk, a medium stalk, and a tiny stalk. So, every little branch matters. We've got a tiny one, guys. A little one. Go figure. Just when you think you're done, more weed pops up. You'd think it grew like a weed. That was corny as fuck. But anyway, got one little bud left on here. We're gonna go take that. Oh, we're getting every little piece of weed we grew. Now I'm gonna show you guys this tray. So you can't have no leaves. I just talked about this. Or you're not watching the videos enough. Look at this. Look at that. What do you guys think? Look at all those purples. Absolutely beautiful, man. Now that we're done with this part, we're going to move these stalks out of the way. Boom. Boom. Pick up all these leaves, like I said, so my bunny does not get them. Here we go. All these. And I'll let you guys check that out for a minute. And if you excuse me, for those that are watching, I will be right back. I gotta go switch my batteries out on my mod, so we're gonna start with process number 2. Make sure this is still going too. Yep. Okay, cool. Hell yeah. Give me 1 minute, guys, and I will be back. I'm back, guys. Just like that. Now we're going to do part 2 of this video. Now that we got all this done, we got all of our cannabis like this, cut up, and branches and whatnot. We're going to go ahead and remove the light. But I'm going to take a minute. Because damn, that was a lot of guys. We got a whole bin full of leaves, as you can see. Got the old doctor gloves on. And we're going to cut each one of these buds off on the trim rack once we get it up. And I'll show you the rack that we're using. Hold on. Let me move my garden bench out of the way. These things are fucking great, by the way. I highly recommend them. But, this is the trim rack we're using by AC Infinity. Shout out to AC Infinity. You guys kick ass and are killing it. The only companies I know that's a little better than AC Infinity is about Gorilla Tints, and that's about it. Spider Farmer lights are pretty good. The rest of the companies like Mars Hydro and shit kind of really sucks. Vivo Sun's kind of like your generic cheap ass knockoff shit. But I did have some Vivo Sun intake outtakes at one point. They ran like a fucking beast. So I mean, even for some generic knockoff shit, it's not that bad. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take this grow light now. We're going to move it. And then we're going to hang up the rack. So I'm going to bring you guys along and show you what I'm doing. Unplug this. There we go. We got 3 people watching. Look at this. Absolutely beautiful, wouldn't you say? Look at those flowers. So, what we're going to do, this is the shit we're messing with right here. You can see we got the SD44. So I have to undo this latch right here, undo this latch right here, and take this $400 light down without busting the shit everywhere. So we're going to do that. We're going to go ahead and remove these CO2 jugs. I've told you guys how to do that. It's amazing. And look at the amount of CO2 that's in here still. 783, which is great for flowering cannabis plants, but we're not flowering any more plants because we've done them all, as you can see. And we filled the trim bin. Oh, look at that. That means it's 12 o'clock and the light automatically shut off, which is good. So what we're going to do is I'm going to set you guys up in my grow tent with me. Maybe not. Maybe not. I'm going to actually set you guys right back up here. Oh. Give me 1 second. Jesus Christ. Damn. This tripod sucks. I'm gonna have to get a different tripod, guys. Now we're going to undo these latches and we're going to hang up essentially the dry rack. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to put you guys in the tent. Give me 1 minute. Probably going to be looking at a tent wall because I don't want to break my light. Oop. There we go. Okay, cool. We're setting up. Awesome. So we're going to unplug the AC Infinity light. We're going to go ahead. Oh, sure. Unplug that. There we go. Unhook that. There we go. Then we're going to let that hang. we essentially are going to lay this down. Just like so, just like that. I'll show you guys. Hold on. Right now it's hanging. Make sure it don't fall. And we're going to unplug it. There we go. I dropped you guys. Hold on. Oh, we're going to grab the tripod. And what we are going to do, put you guys on the tripod here. Give me 1 minute. Boom. Okay, there you guys go. And I'm going to attach this light up to this bar right here. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take this giant ass trim rack and we're going to put it right up here. I see 2 or 3 people hopping in and then they hop back out. Boom. So give me a minute. And we're going to do this. Fortunately, guys, like I said, I cannot do it and show you guys. All I'm doing is untying a rope and hanging up a dry rack. So, no big deal. And then I will show you guys the rest of the trim process with some good lighting. How's that sound? Boom. Slide all this rope right off to this bar, like so. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. And you guys know growing weed, it's a lot of fix your shit. Attached ropes and stuff like that. That's what we're doing now. Essentially. Boom. I have never done any of this stuff with rubber gloves on, guys, and it is so fucking weird. I'm not gonna lie. You'd probably be like, well, how else is it any different? You can't feel anything, really. I mean, you can, but you can't. You know what I'm saying? So it is a little strange. So, go ahead, drop this light. Boom, there we go. I apologize for the shitty view, guys. Just gotta do this because this is an expensive piece of equipment right here. There we go. Now we bring this bar right here and we can hang up the rack. Alright. Come with me, guys. Oop. There we go. So, we got the light pushed down, right? And then what we're going to do is that bar right there that you see, we're going to hang the dry rack. So, I like to use these things. Shout out to the one person that stayed in here the whole time. Much love. And then we're going to hang this right here to hang the dry rack off. So we're going to go ahead and put that. And these things right here are fucking great, guys. They are called Cable Cuff Pro. They're great for hanging up a dry rack. So what you're going to do, these things act like handcuffs. Boom. But before we close it, we're going to put the tent or the dry rack right there. So I'm going to do that real quick, and you guys are going to chill right here, right in the corner of the grow tent. I'll push this light back a little more. There we go. There we go. Oh, and of course I put it on backwards. Son of a bitch. Hold on, guys. Stick with me here. Boom. And there we go. Or, actually, instead of putting it right there, we're going to actually put it in the corner right over here. Let it hang down. This thing's such an awkwardly shaped fucking. There we go. Boom. There we go. Now let me show you guys what I did here. So, we have the AC Infinity Grow Tent. We still have the light hung up, but it is no longer attached, which is fine. We're not worried about that. We don't need the light. And we are going to take these fans right here, move them down. Make sure the fans right here are not pointing directly on the buds. And what we do is we got the grow tent, or the the net essentially that you put your buds in. So here are the buds, all of them, and we're going to cut them from the stem and put them up here. But you definitely want your fans not rotating, okay? Right now they are, so what we're going to do is we're going to put that down there. Boom. As far down as it can go. Right there. Whew. Now we're going to start cutting buds off and placing them into our dry rack. And this is why it's nice to have a 4x4 grow tent, guys. And I wish I had a camera person, to be honest, because this would really help to give you guys a more quality grow. Let's see. Ryder Clark says, you ever grow Jawbreaker or Banana Brawler from Royal Queen seeds? No, I've grown Fat Banana, I believe, or yeah, one of the Fat Bananas, but that's one of them I've grown from Royal Queens. I've also grown Grape Ape. And as you can see, that's what we're doing right here, is hanging up the tent, or the, why do I keep saying tent? Dry rack, that's the word I'm looking for, guys. Sorry, it's been a long day. And got the dry rack. And we're going to adjust this fan over here. Up here. Right away from the cannabis, where it's bouncing off the wall to create some air circulation. And we are going to do the same with this one. As you can see, There we go. We do not want it pointing directly on the buds because it will dry it out very quickly. So I got to make sure this has some clearance space behind the fan. There we go. This is just the boring part, guys. It's just setting up the tent in order to cure the AC Infinity. So I have both the fans, even though they're rotating, they are bouncing off the tent wall. And once this is zipped up, it'll create a tunnel of air. So thank you for the 19 likes, guys. You guys are awesome for hitting that like button. Greatly appreciated. And as you can see, we are ready to start. So what we're going to do is get these out of here. This is what I use. That right there. Grab this. This is like a first person, I would say, kind of view. Ouch. I slammed my noggin into that motherfucking light, guys. That hurt like a bitch. Thank fuck I have dreadlocks. There we go. Now that those are out of the way, we can focus on trimming the buds off and putting them in here. Boom. Thank you for the likes, guys. Thank you. It is greatly appreciated. Much love, Canafan. Much love. So let's get this camera redone and sat back up and start trimming these buds. Hello, guys. Sweat my balls off. It's been a lot of work trimming all this weed. Now you guys are going to see me do that. Let's see how this view looks. Ah, that looks like ass. Hold on. There we go. Now you guys can see. So I'm going to go get a bowl real quick so I can put my sugar leaves in. Give me 1 second. I've got to grab a glass bowl. Alright guys, I'm back with the glass bowl, as you can see. Well, now you can see. And what we're going to do is grab our trimmers, like so. And this is the part that's going to take a while to get. So grab your bongs, bowls, smoke a bong or a bowl. Just do this. Get all these sugar leaves up underneath here off. Now I could run this through a bud trimmer, but I really don't want to destroy the trichomes in this particular cultivar because it is beautiful. And we're going to use that. And we're going to go get one more bowl for the buds. That way when the bowl fills up, we can just put it on the dry rack. There we go, guys. I am back. Back like crack in the 80s. It's a bad joke. But anyway, I'm back. All I'm doing now real quick is putting buds in here. And we're putting sugar leaves in here. So we're going to work the magic real quick. these sugar leaves out of here. This is a lot of hand trimming, guys. A lot of hand trimming, as you can see. This is what I do every time. Every time. So we got sugar leaf. We're going to go ahead and put that there. Grab this, cut around here. All we're doing is getting the stems out, get the little buds, put the bowl, and repeat the process here, fam, until we are done. Then we're going to put the humidity on 60. We're going to do a 60-60 cure. Sound good, guys? So this is just a trim. Get all this real quick trim. And I like to take my time, just kind of even it out, just like so. Get all these sugar leaves out of here. A lot of these leaves, guys, have so much damn keef on it. Trichomes are. Really don't want to slide through this process. I'm good at this because I've been doing this for a long time, trimming the buds. So I'm pretty quick at it. We still got a whole lot of weed to trim. Some seal down here. Just trimming. And I cut the leaves that have sugar on it, and I just leave some of these sugar leaves on there because it allows your plant not to dry out too quick, and that is the goal of curing. Do not want cannabis plant to dry out too quick. So it makes a harsh product. There we go. Don't need that. I can say this grows in a high potency, guys, but I guarantee this is about 30+%. Just judging by all the trichomes and just how well she looks. Now we do got a lot of weed, guys. Woo! Sweat my ass off. So what we're going to do, honestly, we're probably going to use a trimble. Because hand trimming this is going to take 2 or 3 hours, and it's already been 3 hours straight. So what we're going to do, get on the floor right here. Do that right there. We're going to be super careful. We are going to use the trimble. Give me 1 second. Boom. There we go. How many guys have been in trim jail for multiple hours at a time, right? I'd say it is great to hand trim your weed. Don't get me wrong. I highly recommend it. Especially with cultivars probably like this. But, like I said, this is going to take hours. So, just going to do this. Hi, Zoe. She's always curious what I'm doing. Always a curious little fuckball. Go ahead. What's in there that we already trimmed. Boom. Kind of spread them out a little bit. Nice pulls this thing creates, I gotta say. Man, that's some work. That's why I got a trimble. I'd love to have an automatic trimmer. So that would be great. I could just feed it the branches and boom, boom, it would be done. Do now, let's put this lid on here. We don't want to put too many in here. What this does is, if you're not familiar with the trimble, it kind of rolls around the buds and gets all those leaves off and gives it more of a bud shape. You want to do it really slow. That way you don't destroy too many of your trichomes, because there are rubber silicone fingers in there that kind of roll your buds. Damn! That smells like a permanent marker. Jesus Christ. It's strong. Okay, so now that we got some of it trimmed up, I'll go ahead and put it in the first trim rack right here. There we go, get some lighting on so we can see what we're doing in here. And all we're doing is trimming off the stems and trimming off the buds. Put them in the dry rack, guys. Seriously, if there's any of you that's watched this from beginning to end, holy shit, you're a trooper. I'm not gonna lie. You are a fucking trooper, and I appreciate you more than I can say. This is a lot of work, a lot of training, and it's gonna take a long time. Long time. But a lot of you guys have been here and done this, except with scissors. For that, I applaud you, because I used to do that too. But sometimes when you just have a lot, you really don't have necessary time to make every bud look like it came out of High Times magazine when you trim it. This is the quickest and easiest solution, is just to trim over. And they are worth investing in. I mean, yeah, do they take some of your trichomes off? Yeah, a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. But will they take all your trichomes off and destroy your weed, make it shitty? No. But I've been growing this for quite a while now. I'm kind of glad I get to do it. Next chapter, 2 buds in a jar. I know you guys are ready. Some of these buds are so small, larvae, if you will. What we're going to do with them is we're going to put them in a sugar leaf bowl, which usually collects at the bottom of this. So that's what we're going to do with them. Just leave them at the bottom of that. Take the bowl and let it kind of cure and do its thing, if you will. Worth of shit. And sorry for the quiet, guys. I'm just focusing here. Trim and weave. Hi, Loki. What are you doing, buddy? What the hell's going on? It stinks in here. I don't know if you've seen these fuzzballs bouncing periodically, but these are my guns. They're in the same room as my Gurks and everything. Trimballs, the trick is not to fill the cut too much. He does it to you. They all stick together. It just creates one big blob of heat. I'm sweating, guys. I'm not gonna lie about that. It's a lot of bud, a lot of work. Switch out our collaborators here. Give me 1 minute. God damn. Woo. Toasty, toasty one, guys. There's a clear one here, though. This is the part you definitely want the rubber glove. Not so much hand trimming like I did with all the branches that you've seen earlier in the stream, but this. So much weed, guys. So much weed. I definitely got close to half pound off this one. Definitely close to not enough. I don't like to do wet weight like most channels. So once it's cured, we'll do a full weight. That way you guys can see which weed the boy drew in this girl. Oh. It's a fuzz. Ain't nothing worse than fuzzy weed, guys. Branch in there. Well, there. A lot of work, guys. I've been talking this whole stream, I'm not gonna lie, so I'm just kind of trim. Beautiful. get done. So excuse me if I don't talk too much. I have been talking all day, both at my job and on here. And as you can see, I got quite a bit of weed to go through. This is definitely a two-person job. Some numero uno right now, me. So. There are some massive colas in here, so these massive colas are definitely something you want to put in by themselves, have it slowly do its thing. These are great devices. I can't recommend them enough. They definitely are time-saving devices. Now, if you just grow like one plant, you're trying to get it perfect and pristine, then I highly recommend just hand trim it. But if you grow a lot like I just did, then you definitely want to do this. I would if I had more time, but unfortunately where I'm at, it is late at night. I am exhausted, guys. Exhausted. The fact that I even did all this far is still surprising to me. Got some beautiful pools. So it needs kind of trimmed. These are turning out really good, guys. Definitely will need a lot of jars. After all this is said and done. Trimmer along here. And as you can see, there is no part of this plant I really don't use besides extra leaves that have no medicinal value. These THC leaves only typically have around 0.03% THC, so I mean, they're really not worth a fuck. Grand scheme of things. But again, anybody that grows a lot of marijuana and a lot of cannabis, I highly recommend the Trimble. Because I mean, even with the Trimble and a lot of weed, it does take a while but it takes way less time than what it ever would with hand trimming. If I hand trim this, guys, I'd probably be here until the sun came up. And I just don't got that to do tonight. I said if I had a day off work, I would take a little extra time hand trimming some of these buds. Mostly the top colas, but kind of time, unfortunately. There we go. Just seems fine. I ordered us. Again, you guys don't want to crank this thing really fast. Unfortunately, you want to do it really slow. That way you're not destroying any trichomes. I can't stress that enough. And with the clear top, you're able to see, essentially how round your buds are, which really helps. I'm gonna get a drink, guys, because I've been talking for a while. I'm thirsty. I'll be right back. Go ahead and turn that dehumidifier on. This has been quite the journey. This definitely needs trimmed a little bit more, so we're going to go ahead and do that. These butts feel like rocks. And it's hot, guys. Very hot. Very, very hot. I forgot how much work this is. Clean this stuff up as much as possible as I'm doing it. Now, fortunately, but unfortunately, this weed's so sticky that you can only do so much of it at a time. So I can make this process a little longer. But well worth it. Well worth it. Gas with gas. you're done doing this is you'll stop hearing stuff hit the metal hole at the bottom. That's kind of how you can tell they're all kind of trimmed up. I like to do both directions, left and right. How do you like this video, YouTube? Some gas. Trim jail is not fun, but it kind of is. Yeah. Wish I had some. Usually I have a couple out. True hippie fashion, guys. Barefoot, Indian style on the floor, man. Alright. There we go. What do you think, Zoe? Get some gas. I do too. Beautiful weed, I gotta say. Purple, greens, all sorts of hues. Yeah. Thank God for this trim. All I can say. And we're making a dent in it, guys. We got one empty spot on the trim tray here. Getting it done. Getting it done. One foot at a time. One foot at a time. Stuff is beautiful. I'll say. I've never grown back before, but it's definitely something I would run again. It has back appeal like a motherfucker. And I love purple weed, especially if it's in definitely worth taking the time. I'm not gonna lie, this stuff, I'm not exaggerating, smells so strong, it's burning my eyes. Like, it is that strong. I'm glad I broke it personal because this was going to be some gross. Gas. I mean, straight motherfucking diesel. Sorry guys, I'm not talking that much. I'm just trying to get through it. You know what I'm saying? I got quite a bit. Quite a bit. Had a good harvest. Proud of this harvest. Well, like I said, I'm not gonna lie, this stuff and not to toot none more smells so damn strong that it's burning my eyeballs. My goddamn. So I know this is 30 plus. Stuff. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah. I'll put some earbuds. Loki, you're a trooper, buddy. You don't give a fuck about this thing. I've had Loki a little longer than what I've had Zoe, the big puffy one you see bouncing around. She's not too fond of dank smells, but Loki, I'd say, is about used to it by now. He's been around for a while. He does not give a fuck about dank ass weeds. He does not like skunks. Like actual skunk like the animal, but he does not give a fuck about dank ass weed like Zopuff. Zopuff's just not about it. Cut away all the stemage. You guys can tell. Oh no. Disrespect the weed like that. Really big ass chunk of stems. See how quicker this is than hand trimming, guys. You just gotta cut the buds off the stem, essentially. Is everything good? Like I said, if you watch this from beginning to end, you are a motherfucking trooper, bro. I appreciate the shit out of you for hitting that like button. Subscribe while you're at it if you like seeing some badass gas. Because there will be a lot more than just the Cyclone stat. This was worth every bit of CO2 I put into it. These gloves are really nice. Really fucking nice. It's not only that. I'll tell you that. Here we go. Now we'll trim this up. And we'll keep moving on, guys. We're putting it down now. We're putting it down now. You put your freaking city and your state in the map for some gas like this, man. One day you'll see your boiling eyes on something. It's a lot of work. From seed to finish, it's a lot of work. But it's worth it. 100% worth it. leading the charge. This work. There's not a lot of trichomes to left on that, which is a good sign. Good sign that they're sticking to the flower like they should be. And we're not losing a lot of the trimming process. It's a lot of weed to trim though. Did not look like it on the plant, I will admit that. And some of these buds feel like rocks, like golf balls or rocks on the buds. Here. Put this here, that there. This process a little quicker. Oh, look at the rock and stuff. These buds were ready to harvest about 3 days ago, I would say roughly. But as you can see with the tall one earlier in the video with the leaves falling down, I was waiting until all the moisture got out of the soil because after you flush them, it is a bitch to fucking get them all put into a bag, all the soil and your leftover stalks. It is a pain in the ass, guys. Pain in the ass. Plus, for the boring part, I have laundry to do. Shoot all. But wanted to get these done, trimmed up, so I put my fabric bags running in cold water or hot water, so I don't run any fabric softeners with them. Obviously, you don't want to do that. Bring your fabric bags, or your fabric blocks, I'm sorry. But I wanted to do that. Also got laundry to do. So I can get them done at the same damn time. Definitely one of the best grows I've been on the channel yet, I gotta say. Same thing with the Great Ape, I gotta say. Very happy with that grow. The strawberries turned out really good. The blueberries turned out good. The fat banana auto of our Royal Queen seeds turned out good. The mimosa wasn't bad. Had quite a bit of harvest in return to it. And we are about halfway done here, fam. Halfway done. See it bouncing around a giant coal in there. There we are now. The leaves are getting cut off of it. This weed is so damn sticky, guys. It's insane. Very sticky. Very, very sticky. smells like a permanent marker that burns your eyes, like if you open a permanent marker right by your eyes and your face. Exactly what it smells like. Then it's like the straight permanent marker. Right now I got my dehumidifier in there, and I'm getting it down to 60% humidity, and then when we do 60 degrees, I already have my AC Infinity Thermoforge is what it's called, down to 60. So again, things going and popping in the tent. A bunch of stems. We don't need those. This thing does a great job of just tearing up sugar leaf, putting it at the bottom of this bowl. This grate is so sticky, it's like super glue. Very proud of this grill, I gotta say. Very proud of it. Turned out really good. Really glad I have rubber gloves. I figured I would need them for this. Pictures I've looked up, things I've researched. I was definitely right, guys. Definitely right. There we go. We were definitely getting to the point with this grow where it was just time to harvest between work, real life, you know how that shit goes. When you run a cannabis channel or any YouTube channel, sometimes you just neglect things, or not really neglect, but fail to do the extra work. Life is just unrelenting sometimes. I have a job that can be unrelenting even though it's retail. It can definitely be a pain in the ass. Put this there, right there. And we'll dump this bowl up here. Right there. This is something I would grow, guys, to press. Definitely. This is insane. A lot of people were ranting and raving about this in the comment section every time I uploaded a short as it was growing. once you grow so many cannabis plants, you're just like, yeah, but I see why now. I truly underestimated this beautiful culture. It is beautiful. We are almost done. We're halfway there. We got about a plant's worth of Miracle Alien cookies to trim up, put in the trim rack by AC Infinity. And I like AC Infinity's huge trim rack because if you grow multiple cultivars, you can put multiple cultivars in there and just label them and put them in a shelf. There's multiple. And it comes in like 2, 3, 8, one bigger than the one I have. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sections. So it comes in like a 7 or 8 section one. But that one was just too large for my tent. My tent ain't tall enough. If it was like a foot or 1.5 foot taller. But we are almost at that home stretch, Canna family. We have one more plant's worth of buds to trim up. Then I will take you guys inside the grow tent and show you. And then I'm going to get the light out. I'm going to wrap it up. And if you guys are wondering about a vape and how if it's affecting my body, no, it's not. It's getting all sucked out of this ground, put through filters and stuff that are dehumidifier that takes up 1,800 square feet. And my dehumidifier covers 1,800 square feet in a 4x4 tent. So it is by far getting all the moisture or excess moisture or vape up. So I'm not really worried about it. There, guys. Let's get it. Bring out the big boys. There we go. These are for stocks, obviously. No. It's definitely safe to say your boy grows some fire. He knows what he's talking about because video evidence, well, that's just the strongest form of evidence you could possibly have. And once this is all trimmed up in the bowl, show you guys the overall yield, so you guys can maybe guess in the comments. I'll do it short. Have you guys guess in the comments what do you think that yielded overall on this awesome cannabis plant here. Almost done, guys. Almost done. Overload the trim bowl here. I know it can hold up to like 1.5 ounces. Ah, a lot of stems. We want to have some room in here. And we are down to just this, guys. About one whole plant's worth. Or not even that. Not even that. I forgot there's a rubber mat that allows the thing not to slide. Right this down, so sounds like it is definitely taking the stems out that were available to cut. Now this blade that rotates in here is sharper than the blades that you shave your face with. Rusty. Went to take it off one time to clean it, and I ran my hand up it, it sliced it to the point I almost needed stitches. Matter of fact, to be honest, I think I did, but if your boy didn't give a fuck about the end of it, I'm considering to get that. We just applied some pressure, got the stuff, bleeding essentially, and then we just put some Band-Aids on. We went through a lot of Band-Aids. I went through half a box. Every time I bumped my hand or forgot to use my finger, my hand was covered, and your boy was leaking. So, please, obviously, I know it's common sense, but accidents can happen. Practice extreme caution when taking these things apart and cleaning them. Because the blades are no joke at all. They're definitely not one to tussle with. Watch how I put that. So I'm going to talk about gore and whatnot with YouTube. YouTube tends to shit its pants. YouTube shits its pants over so much stuff, guys, that you wear Pampers for real. Like, it is just crazy how much it has changed over the years. It used to be a pretty badass platform. Just pretty whack-ass platform with very few to little rights or regulations. There's a lot of words you can't even say. That aren't bad, but YouTube's just like, oh, we can't do that. It's crazy, man. Whoever knew that a single platform could take away freedom of speech? It's crazy. I think about that every time I upload. oh, I better watch anything and everything I say. Because, I mean, I don't so much give a fuck, but I don't want my channel to do something I said, like, you know, it's normal, but YouTube would be like, no. You know how that goes. I know, guys, I love the smell of it. I know you guys have sensitive wiggle sniffers on your fuzzy faces. Probably not what you think grass meat smell like I am. And to be honest, I mean, this is so damn strong, it's really insane. I can't really believe how strong this stuff stinks, especially in a Trimble. Every time you use a Trimble, these vent holes up at the top blasting that smell in your face. And you know, sometimes it's potent with some strains, but geez, man, some of them like this particular one, it's like, god damn. I think this would outdo a skunk, man. Like I said, it smells like a permanent marker without the damn lid on it. One of them big Sharpies, like those dark Sharpies that you would use. Trying to, at this point, fit as much in the bowl as possible. Four more branches came down. Four more branches out of like one. Hear that noise, guys? I don't know if you can hear that. All that stuff sounds like something hitting metal, falling into metal, or scraping metal. That's all the stuff that's tripping off. I know a lot of people are against these because, you know, like I said, if you have so many plants, like I'm not sitting here until the sun comes up trimming cannabis plants. Now, if it was like for the high times cannabis stuff, then yeah, I'd sit here and use a magnifying glass and fine trim these things, but we just don't have that kind of time right now, guys. Give it one more good spin, then we're going to get the rest of these branches done. We have almost a bowl of cannabis buds. We're going to, well, yeah, about a bowl. These cookie strains, I mean, not made by the company Cookies, but like the company Burner owns, but the cultivars are on point. Just for sure, I'll be growing more cookie strains. I'm going to find as many cookie strains as I can after this. Grow them all. They call me 2 cookies in a fucking jar, man. Damn, this stuff looks like Fruity Pebbles. Not the strain, but the cereal. Crazy frosting. Crazy frosting, guys. I've never smoked this either, to be honest with you guys. I've always in them, but I'm looking forward to that. What the hell is the steam news? And this last load of bud, I guess, what I'll call it, be last bit of the harvest. Let's get it. Down to the last bit, guys. I ain't worried about these stems, guys. To be honest, I'm just going to sweep this whole floor and the bottom of the tent tomorrow because it's late at night and I do have neighbors and I ain't going to do them dirty like that by running a shop vac late at night. They're really cool, actually. They're super quiet. They live underneath me. So, I'm not going to do them dirty and wait until fucking whatever time it is now. You know, essentially drive them nuts with the fucking shop vac. There we go, guys. This is the last load of Miracle Alien Cookies by Samurai Squirrel Steve. Let's get it. Turn it right about 10 times and left 10 times. Repeat the process. There we go. And it creates a ball of bud. I have all the environmental controls where I don't have to worry about mold or anything. It's supposed to storm, however, but backup power generators are great. So don't worry about that. That's going to be a video too within itself. But it's very important for your room to get a backup generator. Not ran all gasoline. Here we go. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. There we go. Zip that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fun, guys. Fun. Oh. We've got 1 level, 2 level, 3 level, 4, 5, 6, and 7. We have all that, man. All that shit. Crazy, ain't it, Canna Fam? Lot of work. Lot of work. And that's how quickly the trim bowl. This is the trim bowl. As you can see. We want to make sure dehumidifier on here is on 60 exactly, which it is. You just can't tell because of the lighting. We're going to go ahead and shut this light off. Oop. Boom. You can tell that's exactly on 62. And then we're going to closing time. Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. Right? Let me. There we go. God, look at my hair. It's fucking crazy. But, Canna Fam, that is all. We have brew the Miracle Alien cookies. Oh, we have harvested the Miracle Alien cookies. You have seen the ritual of 2 ones in a jar and what I do. And it is very late. It's been almost a 4-hour live stream. Much love. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. As always, I'm your host, Dustin, with 2 buds in a jar, and I'm burning out. I'll see you guys next time. Much love. Baby. Let me see here. Boom.